Jason Minix, the Blitz.
It's the Blitz. Been a while. You're on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250, 94.5 FM. Jason Minix in the hole today. Well, let's be real. He's in Phoenix. Going to have a fine weekend, well-deserved day off. I'm here in his stead till 6:30, taking you all the way to Friday night football. Rudy J. will be on color. Carl Schodig be on the call. Reagan and Johnson tonight from the Hill Electric Studios there. Got a lot to talk about tonight. Tony Stark sitting next to me in the double pane glass box of fun.
Afternoon, Ted Lasso.
I appreciate it. Welcome aboard for those of you that are viewing on our variety of streams. Don't adjust your sets. I'm a mix. I'm supposed to be Ted Lasso. I've discovered today, James, that over the last 12 hours, nobody looks at me. Nobody pays any attention to me. I have had a full beard for 6 years. 6 years.
What?
Full, yeah, see?
I thought you just grew a mustache overnight.
But people look at me like I grew a mustache overnight, when in fact what I did was remove 90% of the beard. I look like
not true.
My goal was to be Ted Lasso.
You even got
but
the
what I
puffer
did
jacket.
was I went all in on a character. I shaved my beard for a character that nobody knows who it is. I was out this morning at the wonderful golf tournament out at Canyon Springs, the Window World St. Jude's Classic, raising money for St. Jude's Hospital. It's been St. Jude's week. I saw they gave away a house. Well, didn't give away. They raffled off a house last night, I believe. So anyway, I'm out there yesterday, and I'm meeting all the golfers. This morning. Feels like yesterday. I was out there meeting everybody this morning, and nobody looked at me even crossways. I've got a full-on Burt Reynolds porn star mustache. I'm wearing the dumbest thing made for men. I'm wearing a visor. Visors are stupid, but I'm wearing a visor. I've got the sweater on. I feel like I'm close. I'm talking to guys all
you even
day.
had the puffer jacket.
I even had the puffer vest. Yes, I'm right on there. Whistle. I even had the whistle. Nobody even asked why I brought a whistle to a golf tournament, but I had it all.
They thought you were the starter.
People just looked at me like, this is my life choice. I decided to look like Ned Flanders every day of my life.
And actually, the visor is made for people like you that have this fantastic hair.
No,
yet
a
still wanna
visor
keep the
is
sun out of your
stupid.
eyes.
A visor's because in the cold, all the cold, the warmth
It's not
escapes
cold
off the
weather
top of your
attire.
No, it escapes off the top of your head. And in the sun, that's gets you even hotter because the sun is beating down right on that thin skin. It's a pointless, but Ted Lasso wore it, so I did that. I go all in on the beard, and what do I get? I look like Ned Flanders, Oakley Dokley. Or the other one, I think I look a lot like the Bears. What are the dudes from the Bears? Ditka? I've got one of those looks anyway.
Absolutely. You just need a bear sweater.
Yeah. The Bears fan, Rudy J, didn't even notice that. I'm the one who picked that out. Maybe this should be a Twitter feed for those that can find the stream to see. Pick the character that I most look like. Burt Reynolds, porn star, mid-70s kind of look.
Well, I can create a poll. Hold on.
Ned Flanders, Ted Lasso. I think there's also, I've seen a fair amount of one of the Mario brothers. I've seen that.
Mario and Luigi?
Either Mario or Luigi. I think it's Luigi that I've got a lot of them. See, looks like it smells like a Reno's craps table from the night. Absolutely, it does. Appreciate that.
Taste of mahogany.
It does have a mid-70s newscaster look to it as well. And I'm already Ron Burgundy.
You very much are.
Hey, Andrew Monaco is going to join me despite my silly looks today at 5. The Aggies having a bye week. So does Andrew, and he took some time off of what I'm sure has been a hectic and busy day in College Station. Jon Machota with the Athletics stopping by for his usual with Minix at 5:30. Looking forward to the Dallas Cowboys taking on the Minnesota Vikings right here on San Antonio Sports Star. We got your kickoff just after 7 o'clock. Always brought to you by AA Best Bail Bonds, Ewald Kubota. That's a fine tractor. Don't forget Dallas Cowboys. Can't find a screen. You always got it right here on San Antonio Sports Star. Tomorrow, we will have the World Series Game 4. We're not going to carry it tonight. Got more important business to attend to. Reagan and Johnson high school football. But we have it for you again tomorrow as the Astros head into what appears to be a cold and rainy Atlanta. It's going to be a bit of a mess. Got a couple of rookies going off tonight.
Cold. I mean, that affects ball trajectory on the way out.
I would
Exit
think
velocities.
so. That there is. I've been told that Ian Anderson is going to be on the mound. Luis Garcia as well for the Stros. 2 rookies. It's been since 2006 since 2 rookies started a World Series game.
Which one do you trust?
Well, Ian Anderson's a beast. Seriously. Garcia's all right. I mean, he's good. But it is going to be a hostile environment. The Astros break a long home winning streak. And the fact of the matter is, Braves have the same thing. They haven't won anything at home since 96, I believe, although it's been a while since they've actually been there. I wonder how the cold's going to affect the game. I think there's too much offense there for it to slow it down. And certainly you got a couple of rookie pitchers, and we've seen game 1 and 2. In fact, we've seen throughout the playoffs, if not the entire season, that your bullpen is key here. And both sides have worked their bullpens hard. I think we're going to come down to game 5, game 6, if we get that far, to who's got the ace in the hole that nobody knows. Who's the reliever that's going to step up and save an inning or two? We'll dig into that. Spurs last night, man, I don't know. It is such a difficult proposition to be a Spurs fan right now because
it's not.
It is. It truly is, because I think we all see exactly what we had hoped that we would see. I think we see a team that is, in fact, pretty good, learning themselves, but not quite there yet. And it's tough to watch what we've had to watch over the last 3 games, to play so well, especially over the last 2, and watch just collapses for a variety of different reasons. There's no reason to panic or to be upset, but at some point, effort needs to match, or output needs to match the effort. I mean, somebody going to have to go get a win. And watching your team, what was the lead last night? 26? It was pretty big in the second quarter.
They got the Mavericks didn't hit a field goal attempt for the first 5 minutes.
And, that's always the kiss of death. Especially in college, but also in the pros. If a team is remarkably hot in the first quarter or first half, goes on a run of near 90, 95% shooting and runs off 20, 26 points easy, regression to the mean just about always happens, unless it's a team full of savvy veterans that understands the value of the ball and possessions. Because it's easy to get up on that 26-point lead and start, looking for yourself. Get a little selfish. Maybe there's a pass that I've been making, or, maybe I need to take that kind of shot. And when that starts to happen, you start losing intensity, and suddenly the defense that built that fast start disappears. And last night was a prime example of that. Lots of good to take out of it. I think DeJounte Murray is becoming exactly what we wanted him to become. He is truly the leader of this basketball team. But is it to the detriment of Derek White? Because as as DeJounte has stepped forward, it seems like Derek, while doing glue things, while doing the little things, and there's certainly a lot of value in that, seems to be the lesser of the two. We saw in the game against the Lakers, it was Lonnie that got the shot to close it out. Now, he missed it, but it was Lonnie that got the shot.
Mm-hmm.
I think maybe the thing that cures what ails us is the improvement, and I expect it. There's no reason to doubt it, to get Derek White at a fully functioning part of this 5-piece offense when the fives are out there. And, last night there is a bit of a pass to be given. There was no Doug McDermott, and we've seen the value of what spreading the floor does to this team. And I think they certainly missed that in the second half when things started to fall apart. You needed a guy to be a closer. He didn't have to be a superstar, but at least you could look to a vet like Doug McDermott to go get a bucket and to stop the bleeding. And he wasn't there. And there was nobody that could step forward to do it. I thought maybe Bryn Forbes, a little bit of veteran savvy, might play a role in that. No. What if you were Pop, how do you handle these teams? What would you do? Is it today We hit the floor practicing. We work hard because there are obvious things we need to do. And you go Serbian looking for some nasty, like, look, this is inexcusable. We are the Spurs. We're better than this. 4 straight that were close, all winnable games. I'll put it to you that there was only one game that we got beat. That was Milwaukee. The other 3, we just lost. We just lost it. We didn't do enough to win.
Let's talk about defense.
Let's talk about defense. We know that this team generates their offense off of defensive intensity. You look at the hustle stats. They're right around 20 to 25 ball deflections a game. Last night, just 15. Tell me, defense is about want to. If you were Pop and you went to practice today or walk through or whatever it is, do you walk into the gym angry? Do you walk in mad? Or do you walk in, look, like he has been? Look, the worm will turn. Effort will prove out over time. Keep working. I'm not mad at you, but eventually we'll make a shot and we will get that done. I don't know, after a couple of straight ones that you just kind of felt like got away, sometimes you got to get a little tough.
You know, it's weird because you see Pop pre, post, he's more jovial.
Yes.
We tried hard. He's not tearing into him. He's not frustrated, it seems, on the podium as he got, with other teams, to where the media would take the brunt of his frustration at times, it felt like. I think Pop sees the writing on the wall, which is what I've tried to brace Spurs fans this whole time for. This is a good team. You're going to see good basketball played out of them. There are superstars on the other side of most of the NBA that they're facing, closers. The talent is there for these other teams across the league. They just don't have the equal amount of talent to match most of these other teams. It's going to be a long season. Look for the little victories.
Well, I think that we're all happy with the little victories. I think every Spurs fan, except for those that gave up their seats to Laker fan the other night, we need to talk about that. But I think we understand that this is a team with massive potential and seem to be considerably better than we expected early on. Like I said, I think they've really only lost or gotten beaten once. Milwaukee beat them. There was no ifs, ands, or buts there. But the others, they were in to win. And for whatever reason, collapses occurred. And Pop's been not good with it, but he's been understanding of his young kids. And that's what we've asked for. But there is that delicate, at some point, do you need to step on the gas and coach in a maybe not so positive fashion? Maybe use a little bit of negative reinforcement.
Well, Pop's the king of that.
Well,
so the fact that he's not going to it is quite telling to me.
A couple of things that I do find key and extraordinary. First of all, we've talked about it already. DeJounte has improvement as a team leader, as a game manager, as a mid-range jump shooter. Certainly spent a lot of time with DeMar, and you can tell. Jakob Poeltl had marching orders over the summer. There were things that he had to accomplish to get his body ready, and man, he came ready. Now, the first couple of games, we saw a pivot play from Jakob that I didn't think he was capable of. 6.5, 7 assists a game. We saw a lot of movement. The last 2 games, no assists. You're going to have to overcome your tape. Now there's film on what you want to do. They're cutting it up and slicing. We know exactly where you need to be. Jakob, you showed a skill, but to be a professional with that skill, you're going to have to up your game a little bit because that offense looked remarkably better. And I'll tell you, my brother Jason, for those of you who listened for a while, know my brother and I did a fair amount of radio together. Watched the Spurs for a long time. We have had a very different opinion of Jakob Poeltl. Mine not nearly as high as his up until this season. And even after the first 2 games, I was still show me more. And he has. The Laker game was extraordinary. Now, there's still some of the foibles that Jakob continues to carry. He can't hit a free throw. But his improvement is remarkable. I want to see a little bit more of the passing. On the other side of that coin, he's about it in the front court. He's about it.
He's alone.
Number 14 is what we thought he was. A hard-working guy, given the matchups, number 14 will be a successful outing. He will give you positive minutes, but he's undersized. And if the flow doesn't fit, there's no room for 14. Drew spends a lot of time watching. I don't even know what to make of Thagic.
Oh, he's not playing.
I don't even know what to make of this scenario. I can't. This was a starting power forward in the NBA for years. Now, either he's upset and pouting, doesn't add to anything, or he is sitting and waiting to be moved. We heard from his girlfriend or his wife got mad. Wife. Respect. I understand. This is a tough scenario, and we've seen this before. Didn't we deal with this with Damari Carroll?
We did. Here's the thing. If this was the issue, unless you're really trying to coop some value out of Thagic, why wasn't he the release instead of Aminu? Because I bet Aminu would have been more amenable on the bench.
That's why this is such a strange. They're obviously including him in a variety of trade packages. There's no reason why he's not out there unless it's his personal attitude. And I can't imagine that he's been a pretty consummate pro. He's played for some pretty hard-nosed coaches. He's played for some bad coaches. But we haven't seen him. And I do think, specifically last night, he would have played a pretty important role. I would have thought he would have anyway.
Yeah, trying to guard Doncic.
Well, no one can completely do that. But, it wasn't just Doncic. Without Porzingis, I felt like we might have a little bit of an advantage on the front line. Dwight Powell's a decent player, but I felt like we had the numbers to really attack that. And some of it we were successful with Jakob, some not. So it was surprised not to see Thagic there. And with every passing day, with DNP CD, or what did we have the other night? 2 minutes, 3 minutes?
No, it was a DNP CD last night.
Well, I'm thinking about the Laker game, 3 minutes and 16 seconds against the Lakers.
Mm-hmm.
With every passing day, we are getting further and further away from him.
Speaking of Thagic and his minutes or lack thereof, what do you think is going to be the role of one Zach Collins when he comes back from his injury? Because he seems like the perfect backup to Jakob in terms of maybe being a floor spacer that can also go down low.
But yeah, that's the intent. We'll see. I mean, he spent his entire career hurt. Those few minutes that he has been capable of coming out in Portland was good. I certainly remember his college years. He was a baller at Gonzaga, get in and done, one and done type. Really everything we hope for, but we're so far away from that. And the fact is, I'm not sure we miss what he can do. At least so far we hadn't until last night, because there really just wasn't any deep threat. Lots of volume. We are a threat anyway, but you look at what Dallas does opposed to what the Spurs do, and they're still breaking habits, I guess it were.
So you're starting to lose faith in the shooting guard, Drew Eubanks?
Well, the problem with Drew is it's not a problem. He is what he is. He's an undersized big that, given the right matchup, yeah, he's remarkably athletic and can do things in short spurts, but he is eminently what you can take advantage of defensively. He is just a liability at times if he's vertically challenged for the position he's chosen to play. This morning we got up early, Rudy and I, for R&R in the morning. We get Mike McCarthy every Friday. I hope you've had an opportunity to hear it all day long. As we came into this morning, McCarthy has a couple of heavy-weighted decisions that he's going to have to make before the Sunday night game, which, by the way, of course, you can catch right here on San Antonio's Sports Star. Kickoff just after 7 o'clock. You want all your pregame party? You want all of that? Go over to our brother station, Jack FM. Got a big old stick. You can listen to them everywhere, and we'll have your broadcast right here on San Antonio's Sports Star going at 7 o'clock. But McCarthy, when we asked him this morning, first of all, the question with Dak Prescott is there's a bit of a soft landing. There's a bit of a golden parachute with this because the Cowboys have such a nice lead in the NFC East. There's not a lot of urgency to secure the win. Now, with a loss, you're going to be hovering around that 3-4 spot, not a place you really want to be, but there's a long time to go. So I do feel like worst case scenario, the Cowboys suits Steven and McCarthy think if he doesn't play and we lose, it could be a lot worse. But I do think, judging by what McCarthy had to say, he wants him to play. You listen to him. You figure out when he's talking about when is the decision going to be made. It's a game time decision, so that would be Sunday, right? Well, let's hear what McCarthy had to say, what game time means to him.
Well, I think the biggest thing is, is he still progressing towards the goal? And he's played a lot of football. Obviously he's still a young man, but he's a seasoned vet in my view. So, we can take this out as long as we need to. But, I'm hopeful we have some resolution by by Saturday. But once again,
By Saturday.
Before we get on the plane. But we don't need to. He
Right.
maybe, I need one more day, and we could go, because we'll have a walkthrough up there in Minneapolis on Sunday morning, because we play a night game. So so we got a lot of work left that would be plenty for Dak to be ready to go.
And if he's not ready by the walkthrough, maybe pregame warm up. I don't know. Try him out right before kickoff.
You can tell he desperately wants. No coach wants to put their team in a lesser position if possible. And you heard Dak yesterday. By the way, Jon Machota is going to join us for his weekly stop by at 5:30, and he has a great article today on The Athletic about Dak Prescott and his progress through the initial strain last week, and coming to the point where we sit now where he's still a little unsure. He seems in great spirits. His teammates certainly say he's not lacking in anything, but at the end of the day, when you're dealing with a quarterback, that relationship between a coach and a player almost takes a little bit of precedence, right? Sometimes you have to trust your player to say, look, I'm good, I'm ready to go. And other times you got to take his helmet. That relationship is key. Let's hear what Mike had to say about that. And it was
this is pretty much a norm, that goes on a lot during the course of the year. So, once again, these relationships, between player and training staff and strength staff and coaching staff. I mean, this is a big part of it. So, it's a constant conversation. I start every morning, visiting the training room. Seeing how all the guys are doing, and then about the course of the day before we get to practice, we have a full report, and then I have a 4 p.m. GPS meeting that we go back through it. So I can't tell you how much time is spent on the health and the welfare of each and every player. So the level of communication is constant. Is the point I'm making. So in a Dak's particular situation, that's exactly how we'll do it. We'll see where he is today, and we have a plan for him to work today, and if he can get over that threshold, he'll be a day closer to playing.
A day closer to playing.
Now, look at it not from McCarthy's perspective, but from the front office perspective.
Mm-hmm.
Weighing the decision between playing Dak Prescott and staying tied with the group of Rams, now Cardinals, Packers, Buccaneers for first in the NFC, versus Dak going out, tweaking, missing 3 or 4 games, or Dak going out, playing well, not getting hurt, but suffering injury later. But if Cooper Rush plays with all of the weapons that they have, full capacity, they've got everything that Andy Dalton did not have last year.
Yeah.
The offensive line's at full strength. He's got all his receivers. Michael Gallup's reportedly coming back. You've got everything you would need for Cooper Rush to step in and steady a ship with a extremely talented team around him.
This would be the perfect
If
time
he
to do
falls flat on his face, you have until Tuesday to make a decision about something.
You know what, dude? I appreciate that thought. I do. I think that the Cowboys probably have certainly considered the possibility, the need, if this calf thing were to linger and they might lose him, that they'd have to go chase somebody. And the deadline, but if you're unaware, the trade deadline is Tuesday in the NFL. We've been watching the Deshaun Watson scenario, but other teams are actively trying to stockpile and improve their depth. And the Cowboys, I think, would be, well, they wouldn't be doing their due diligence if they weren't looking around. And it would be nice to see a Cooper Rush, just see where he is, a good barometer game against a defense that's good, against a team that's home, against a team that has been just a couple of points away every game, but from winning. A team that Mike Zimmer seems to have turned around. They run the ball. It'll be, I don't expect a shootout, so I don't think Cooper's going to have to score a whole bunch of points to score. So I can see why you'd want that. But if you're Mike McCarthy, I don't want to risk anything. If Dak is X, and I don't know what X is as far as the threshold between playing and not playing. I don't know if they have a barometer of, let's say if he's 80% he plays, but if he's only 70 he doesn't. I don't know what that is. But I know that if I was Jerry and if I was Steven and if I'm anybody but McCarthy who has to wear the W or the L, no matter what it is, it's his. I'd want Dak to play. I'm curious if he's 50%, do you play him? If he's 70%, do you play him? Because Wins are hard to come by. It doesn't matter who or when. And if you can separate yourself just in case later on, it feels like you have to go get the win. What sounded like McCarthy certainly wants him to play. He will certainly push that game time decision literally till game time. He just told us, yeah, we got to run through today. We'll look at it. Tomorrow we got to walk through before we get on the plane. We'll look at it. If we can't decide then, we'll pray to the hamstring and the calf gods, and we'll get on the plane, and we'll land in Minnesota, give him some cheese, and we'll try him again. We'll try him again at 3. The game time isn't until 7. I think McCarthy desperately wants him, but I believe at the end of the day, we're not going to see it.
It's a calf god?
There is, well, I've been told.
I only thought there was a god of Achilles.
See, we haven't had to deal with that one yet, thank goodness. They babied Dak in training camp. Remember, they babied that shoulder. I think Dak was ready to play, willing to play for most of preseason, but they chose not to. They babied it. They followed the instructions of the baseball types who told him, yeah, we're accustomed to this. Couple days rest cannot be replaced by anything, not therapy, not anything. He just has to shut it down if you don't want to deal with it again. And they did. They to their detriment. First time we saw him was against Tampa. Now, he came out with a bang, not a whimper, but he was not as crisp as he could have been if they'd have played him. So we know the Cowboys have a history of letting him rest, letting him rehab. This is a guy that's going to be around and will fight till his last breath if you allow it. So I can see the desire, but I'm not sure he'll actually play. And on the other side of that, and we'll get into it with Machota, him coming back is part of it. But Lael Collins, this is one of those good team problems. When one of your better players disappears for a little over a month, you're able to fill in. Next man up actually worked. And what do you do when the guy returns? Well, maybe you put him in his natural position at the weakest part of your line.
Well, no, having LC back is great because we have in-season competition going on, and there's never a bad time to have competition, in the football environment. That's for sure. So, no, definitely, LC is back and. Had a nice day yesterday, playing both left guard and right tackle. So we have a very healthy situation in the offensive line room.
I found when we were talking to him, we asked, with your starting 5, with your guard, your 2 guards, your center, and your tackles, is it the best 5? Is it the best 5 guys at all the positions? That's who you want to start? Or is it the best 5 guys together? And his response of, yeah, it is the choreography that I'm chasing. And Terrence Steele stepped in pretty seamlessly. There is absolutely no reason to move off of him because he's been doing just fine. And it is that coordinated effort that is key. And he's stepped in. He knows the dance steps. He has not stepped on any toes. He has fit quite well this last year and a half of filling in for Lael. Well, guess what, Lael? LC, as coach tells you, you might be falling back to your natural position. We saw him in preseason. And he had lost a lot of weight. He looked more like a guard than a right tackle to me. After spending a year with a bad neck after the injury, he came back in a much different physical state. And, well, maybe that body type might be more applicable.
And think about it, too. Connor Williams and Tyler Biadasz have been the weak point in that offensive line.
Yes.
And you don't have another option outside of Tyler Biadasz at center. So how do you best support him? You already got Zach Martin on one side. If you end up putting Lael Collins next to him, that really masks the lone weak spot on that offensive line.
But let's not forget what he did say, that while he's working there, it is the choreography amongst the 5. And it has been a bit since he played guard, left guard. It has been a bit. Not that he can't. He's not going to do much tomorrow, I don't think. I think he's just going to stand on the sidelines, and we're going to hope he doesn't play. And if he does, let him be a victory cigar. Let him be in there late to get some playing time. But as the practices have gone, we'll talk to Jon Machota of The Athletic at 5:30. He'll let us know how practice and walkthrough went today. It's a fast and furious Friday.
Here's the thing. You look at the way the offensive line has performed, and you talk about the dance and the continuity. I think Lael can help inside because the weak point has been where Connor Williams is, inside between him and Biadasz. So would the continuity really be that messed up if you put somebody there who has played the position anyway in his career?
It is another RPP. Let's get you caught up with the Sports Center. Got all the news that is fit to speak about. Come back. Let's look at the Spurs game last night. It was another frustrating finish. The Spurs blew a nice 25-5 opener to end up losing in a sad 104-99 victory. Spurs are now about to travel and face the Milwaukee Bucks yet again.
You don't sound happy about that.
Well, there's two sides of this, and we'll look at it. Sometimes the schedule, though tough, is a benefit. Maybe getting these out of the way, and you kind of get the good measuring stick. Let's look at the rotations. Let's see where Doug McDermott sits, and let's get ready for a game again against a world champion as the Milwaukee Bucks. We're going to just finish with them, get them out of the way. We won't see them again until the NBA Championship Series sometime in June. So we appreciate you stopping by, Daniel. All those that are listening on our different frequencies, as Carl's apt to say, on AM 1250, 94.5 FM. Maybe you're watching one of our many streams. We want to thank everybody for joining us. Dial on in. You'll see Tony Stark and some dude named Ted. We'll be right back talking Spurs. This is the Blitz, you lucky devils, and you're on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250 and 94.5 FM.
But first, a SportsCenter update. As in the NFL, reports are Tyrod Taylor not quite ready to go for the Houston Texans just yet, as they will start Davis Mills again at quarterback when the Texans take on the Los Angeles Rams at NRG Stadium this Sunday afternoon, with kickoff set for noon. The Dallas Cowboys are in prime time coming off their bye week as they look to win their sixth straight when they play the 3-3 Vikings up in Minnesota. Kickoff set for 7:20, and it's a game you can catch right here on your home for Cowboys. San Antonio Sports Star starting at 7 o'clock on Sunday night. Dak's status for that game is still up in the air as he has officially been listed as questionable on the injury report. It's Game 3 of the World Series tonight as the Astros and Braves are tied, with the series shifting back to Atlanta for Game 3. First pitch is set for 7:09 as Luis Garcia gets the start for Houston. In the NBA, the Spurs fell in Dallas to the Mavs 104-99 last night despite a hot start. DeJounte Murray led the way with 23 points, 10 boards, and 8 assists in the loss, which was their Spurs' fourth straight loss, dropping them to 1-4 on the year. Won't get much easier, though, as they head to Milwaukee tomorrow to take on the defending champion Bucks, with tip-off set for 7 o'clock. I'm James Pudger for San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250 and 94.5 FM.
ESPN AM 1250 and 94.5 FM.
You know, you think about the NFL game last night, the NFL games that are coming up this weekend. If you're not playing Underdog Fantasy online, you are doing it wrong. Underdog Fantasy is the best new place to play fantasy sports online, with daily and season-long fantasy sports and that NFL Pick'em game, which is a lot of fun, where you can pick any 2 to 5 player props, parlay them together, and you could win up to 20 times on your entry in one night. In fact, a listener sent me a screenshot. He won $1,000 on UnderdogFantasy.com by parlaying 5 picks, and he won them. Big-time money. You want to do that? Go to UnderdogFantasy.com or download the app. Sign up today. Use promo code RADIO. Make your first deposit and receive a free $25 in bonus cash. Again, use promo code RADIO when you register to get that $25 cash for free with your first deposit. Download the app today. Start playing today. Just use promo code RADIO at sign up and send me the screenshots. Wins, losses, I like seeing them. I like seeing what you guys are playing online, or download the app, UnderdogFantasy.com.
If you're thinking about a compact tractor and you want the best, you can afford a Kubota. Hi, I'm John Ewald with Ewald Kubota. Come into one of our 10 locations and check out the Kubota L2501 tractor package deal, which includes a 4-wheel drive tractor with a hydrostatic transmission, a front loader, a rear mower, a box blade, and a trailer, all for one low price. With a deal this good, you can afford a Kubota from Ewald Kubota. Check out our package deals at ewaldkubota.com.
According to TxDOT, on average, one motorcyclist dies every day on Texas roads. If you or a loved one were injured in a motorcycle crash, call Thomas J. Henry. To learn more or start your claim today, visit tjhlaw.com/radio. San Antonio, Texas.
1911 Cigars is the premier cigar lounge in South Texas, providing quality, affordable cigars in a professional, inviting environment with a large covered patio with TVs. A BYOB establishment, 1911 Cigars strives to allow the avid cigar connoisseur a comfortable place to relax, socialize, network, and of course enjoy a great cigar. 1911 Cigars is available for private events and has private cabanas with TVs, fire pits, and heaters. 1911 Cigars at 207 South Main Street in Cibolo. Online at 1911cigars.com.
Your source to local news and sports in San Antonio begins with the San Antonio Express News. We've collected, written, and shown the stories that matter most to San Antonio. Look no further than the San Antonio Express News to continue to provide information and strength to the community. Whether it's on the field or on a court, we provide the ground local coverage. Go to expressnews.com for the most up-to-date high school and college sports coverage. Subscribe today at expressnews.com.
At Diamonds Direct, nobody tells our story better than our own associates.
I hear from customers that come in how shocked they are. They're able to, only with Diamonds Direct, afford a diamond that they never in their wildest dreams thought they'd be able to get.
People are just thrilled with what we offer.
I have exponentially more to choose from. The resources that we have all the way from our wholesale roots, really untouchable.
You come here to Diamonds Direct, you know it's something special. You know it's something that is one of a kind, and you got that at such a phenomenal value.
To be a jeweler and have this kind of firepower, we have all these mountings, all this selection, all these diamonds, and incredible prices is just unmatched.
And I think our customers appreciate that we are so open and honest about every part of this process.
What they're surprised by is the extent that we go to provide an unparalleled, luxurious shopping experience.
This company has a 60-year heritage in diamond cutting, diamond mining, diamond wholesaling. So there's no possible way to get any closer to the source than with Diamonds Direct.
We won't be undersold.
Diamonds Direct, your love, our passion. Store hours and directions at diamondsdirect.com.
Whether you're vaccinated or not, it's important to know the symptoms of COVID and its variants. Fever is the leading sign of COVID and the flu, so make sure you use an accurate thermometer. Only the Exergen Temporal Scanner Thermometer has been proven accurate with more than 100 clinical studies. Non-contact thermometers have no clinical evidence behind them and are not reliable. Be vigilant and seek medical advice at the first sign of fever. Learn more at Exergen.com.
Get stylish, durable flooring for your home that will last a lifetime. And get it installed with help from Lowe's. Get Stainmaster Pet Protect carpet starting at just $199 per square foot. And Pergo Wet Protect laminate starting at $249 per square foot. Both with limited lifetime warranties. Order now, only at Lowe's. Home to any budget, home to any possibility. Install available in-store only and through independent contractors. See Lowe's.com for details and licensing. U.S. only. See Lowe's.com product detail page for more warranty information.
Listen to this station anytime, anywhere on Odyssey. Odyssey is your new audio home for all the music, news, sports, and podcasts that matter to you. Odyssey. That's AUDACY.
The following is a public service announcement. Do not plan baby showers, weddings, or birthday parties on Saturdays or Sundays in the fall. San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN 1250 and 94.5 FM.
It's the Blitz. You know, I'm going to be ruined for this. I'm Rob Thompson sitting in for Jason Minix, who was jetted off to Phoenix to go see a football game. I understand they still play football in Arizona after last night. ASU taking on Wazoo. He's got family there. Going to go see his lovely daughter. He's getting ready to graduate from grad school there. So I'm in his stead and in his place over at Hero Stadium and prep for the Johnson-Reagan game. Carl Schoenig on the call. Rudy J. offering your color commentary. That alone is worth this tandem. It's just about Joe Buck and Troy. I would put it right there. Just about. They're both human. I mean,
yeah,
there are some similarities there.
I think they both have fingernails.
Joe Buck is just a gift from God, isn't he?
Is he?
I know he has his detractors. I do, but Joe Buck is just a master. He's a contemporary just master.
He's a master at sliding the Astros at every turn he gets.
But be realistic here. You got to take into mind the viewers. And it is 99% across the country anti-Astros. It doesn't matter who they're playing.
Isn't the broadcast supposed to be neutral though?
I think that it's neutral to the extent. Broadcast? It's neutral to the extent I need to ensure that the majority of my viewers are comfortable. And there is the mindset, right or wrong, that the Stros don't belong to be there. Punishment should have been meted out in a much more difficult and arduous fashion, and they're here again, and it truly is us against them. And I think Joe Buck's doing an excellent job and kind of skirting that line. I'm going to talk about our Rock the Mic contest real quick. Rock the Mic, the deadline to get your video entry is Sunday. You got to get your video in, guys. If you've been procrastinating and put it off, you're running out of time. You need to go to sasportstar.com, upload your video. It literally only needs to be a minute. And I don't care. We don't care what your topic is. If you're passionate and you love it, bring it. We will take care of the rest. We're looking for attitude. We're looking for that certain something, je ne sais quoi, that certain something that has separated the likes of R.J. Ochoa and Michael Jimenez and Thomas Mott and Quinn Hudson and Carolina Teague, all of which are now working in the media business, every one of them. You want that opportunity. It does not come often. It only comes once a year here, and who knows if it's coming back. I'm starting to get a pretty full stable of talent here. If you want to be a sports talk radio host, this truly is your chance. We crowdsource this. If you're new to what the San Antonio Sports Star does, we crowdsource every year looking for a talk radio host with San Antonio roots, somebody that understands our market, understands our people, and our loves. Now, you don't have to love the Spurs. You don't have to love the Longhorns or the Cowboys or the Aggies, but you need to understand who we are. And all of us, that all the entries I have seen are exactly that. What you need to do is upload a minute video, acting like you're a sports talk radio host. Act as if. Give us a minute. That's all we take. Upload it. Then we'll start talking about getting your votes. But the first step is getting that video uploaded. And the deadline truly is Sunday. Now, our semifinalists, we're going to be invited out to Slacker Sports and Arcade Bar all week next week. But we got to get your video in now. You have until Sunday. If you've submitted and you want another one, go ahead. It's okay. We'll replace it. But you got to get your video in now.
Top 12.
Top 12.
We make the decision Monday?
A week from Monday. 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 I'm sorry. And a week from Monday, we'll have gone through our prelims. We will have gone through our face-to-faces. We will have our 12 on air all next week. You are running out of time. Sunday. I know it's quick. I know it's short. We're going to be talking about it today. The guys tomorrow on The Hangover, James and Jack. Post up, yes. Fantasy Gods on Sunday. All of them are going to be talking about it. We want you to get involved. Get that video up. What does it take? Act as if. So I tell everybody, what would a sports talk radio host talk about? Talk about that. Be persuasive, be passionate, but upload it. It is a unique opportunity in the country. I meet program directors around the country, and we talk about this. This is something that nobody's ever done, and it's been remarkably successful. I show the tape. I let people know that there is talent out there. If you search and you spend some time and invest in them, you'll get returns. Big news, a big announcement coming Monday from one of our Rock the Mic champs. One of our Rock the Mic champs. We have huge news in the media. Big announcement coming Monday. You want to be the next big announcement? It is easy. Go to sasportstar.com, upload a 1-minute video. That's all we ask. We will take it from there. sasportstar.com, Rock the Mic, yet again in play, and I can't stress it enough. You are running out of time.
That was beautiful, Ted.
Thank you. Thank you. I wish I had some witty Tedism to bring to you.
I feel like running through a wall now.
Let's go get it. All I ask is that you believe. That's all I ask, is that you completely believe. We want to thank Jim Beam for being part of this yet again this year. Slacker Sports and Arcade Bar for hosting us yet again this year. This is a great team. We've been remarkably successful. Upload your video. That's all I can do. I can lead you to water. I can't make you drink. When we come back, we'll look at the Cowboys. And I've got an interesting question regarding the NBA. We've heard Trae Young come out and say, reffing is a little overbearing now. Some of these things we used to get to do, we're not getting to do now. James Harden's only scoring 15 points a game. For the love of God, why are you hamstringing us? The NBA has finally made a good decision regarding the rules. They're bringing things back. We'll look around the NBA, talk about the NFL. Did the Cardinals lose or did the Packers win? Another question to ask. Andrew Monaco's around the corner. Jon Machota very quickly to follow. You're on the Blitz, and this is San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250 and 94.5 FM.
Score $1,000 now. Enter the winning keyword, COOL, COOL, COOL at sasportstar.com. Good luck from San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN 1250 and 94.5 FM.
Dig a trench, gravel the driveway, remove a tree stump. To tackle the big jobs, you need the power of Kubota. At Ewald Kubota, we have the tractors and construction equipment to get it done fast and get it done right. You've come to rely on the quality and dependability of Kubota compact tractors and implements, and at Ewald Kubota, rental equipment is available at all of our locations. Right now, all new rental customers get 10% off their first rental. For a store near you, visit ewaldkubota.com.
This is for the men who never settle, the ones who believe only quitters end a game in a tie, the type of guys who choose the bar with the biggest TVs to overcompensate for theirs at home. This is the Lodge mentality. This is Twin Peaks.
Are you looking for a job where you can have tons of fun and make great money? Twin Peaks is the team for you. We're looking for Twin Peaks girls, cooks, bussers, barbacks, and more. Text WORK 4TP to 85000 to apply. That's WORK, the number 4 TP to 85000 to apply.
What's all the buzz about nasal irrigation and Navage? And should I try it? Here's the science. Airborne germs invade through your nose. It's the body's air filter for trapping allergens and viruses. When your nose gets clogged, it's less effective and germs multiply. Eventually, your immune system can get overwhelmed and you get sick. Nasal irrigation is an effective, all-natural way to clean your nose. It's not a drug. It's more like plumbing. Saline goes in one nostril, around the back of the nose, and out the other nostril, flushing out mucus and germs. I'm Martin Hoke, and I invented Navage to make cleaning your nose easy. It's the world's only nose cleaner with powered suction. Navage pulls out the bad stuff so you can breathe better, sleep deeper, snore less, and feel healthier. At Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid, Target, Bed Bath, and Walmart. Or go to Navage.com for a free gift with purchase. Over 2 million sold. Navage, Navage. Clean nose, healthy life.
Guys, stop what you're doing. Give me a few seconds of your time and let me give you a piece of advice that will change your love life forever. Have you noticed you've been losing a little pep in your step? Has your lady friend asked you, is everything okay? Do you find yourself having trouble rising for the occasion? Do you stress out before that special moment and wonder, is it gonna work? Guys, I'm going to let you in on a big secret. You don't ever have to worry again. The Mojo Male Enhancement Formula has you covered. Mojo is the 100% guaranteed male enhancement formula that guarantees lasting success, if you know what I mean. The Mojo Male Enhancement Formula is safe, natural, and effective every single time, guaranteed. Mojo is available in a fast-acting spray and a quick-action capsule. Do yourself and her a favor and call Pure Line Nutrition in San Antonio today. They'll get you set up for success. Call 210-494-2210. That number again is 210-494-2210. Mojo Male Enhancement, only available at Pure Line Nutrition.
Welcome to Texas, where the sun is beaming down and can damage the interior of your car, even in lower temperatures. Unless you go to Mother's Window Tint, home of the Tint and Alarm Special, where you can also buy a new car stereo since 1984.
1984? That's impressive.
Mother's Window Tint has tinted cars and trucks to stop the sun from damaging their interiors. Texans like dark privacy window tint. Come to Mother's and get some. Legal and guaranteed a lifetime. Remember to protect yourself and your family. Buy an alarm today from Mother's. Starter kill, remote start, GPS locator, 24-hour live monitoring. Save $100 on the tint and alarm package of your choice. San Antonio and Austin stores. motherswindowtint.com.
Remember, do it at Mother's and save.
Ribs, burgers, chicken. Submit what you cooked on the grill or smoker, and you can win a $50 gift card from Tri-County Meat Market. Grilling with the Blitz. Online at sasportstar.com.
Don't mind the brake lights. We'll get you there. San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN, AM 1250 and 94.5 FM.
Thanks, Keyshawn. It's the Blitz. You're on San Antonio Sports Star. I'm Rob Thompson. Back in a familiar seat at an unfamiliar time. Jason Minnick's in the hole today. Taking you up to 6:30, at which point I will hand off the radio baton for our Friday Night Lights football game of the week, powered by Hill Electric. We're going to have Rudy J. and Carl Schoenig on the call in a fantastic football game. We got Reagan and Johnson, one of those backyard battles.
Does it feel like Monday all over again for you?
Most days feel like Monday. Why? Why would it feel like more today?
Because wasn't that the day that you were up for like 29 hours?
This is easy. This is easy. Spent some time with the Care Bears over the week. I ruined the perfect sweep opportunity for the Astros by going to game one of the World Series. Rudy and I road trip down, It's been about 24 or 28 hours consecutive awake, and we got an opportunity to see the Astros actually wet the bed. I didn't think that was possible, but we watched it visibly. They wet the bed in front of us. Turn it around. Tonight in Atlanta, it is a cold and rainy day. I still expect offense. I still think, 5-6 runs apiece, but it's not going to be pretty. A couple rookie starters going off. Ian Anderson, I think, is a monster. This is a make or breaker. What's the game 3, the 2-1 lead? I'm sure the numbers will bear out that if you win the game 3, the first home, when you're on the road, that the numbers will give you a more likely opportunity. Anderson's a beast, but Garcia's had a hell of a rookie year as well. We'll look a lot closer at that in the 5 o'clock hour. Jon Machota is going to join us at 5:30. We're going to talk Dallas Cowboys. The voice of the fighting Texas Aggies, Andrew Monaco, will join us. It's a bye week for the Aggies, but so much still in play as they seem to have righted the ship. But will those losses stand in the way of, a New Year's Day bowl? They certainly have a resume. They got Auburn coming next week. But will it be enough to close out the season? And is Calzada truly the quarterback of the future? Bye weeks are when you talk about this stuff. And Andrew Monaco will be here in just a bit.
Do you think he is?
No.
As an Aggie fan?
No, I don't. I love him. He can be. I give him a job for life. We'll go Vince Young on this. It's not even a ring. It's not even a title. You get to stay around College Station. We'll give you a corner office. You get to go to every rubber chicken meal. You get to talk about the Aggies for the rest of your life, and we're going to pay you a nice, livable wage. But I'll tell you, I think Haynes King is truly the quarterback. Now, if I'm him, the modern athlete transfers. Jimbo's going to have to be very delicate about this. Last time we had any kind of quarterback controversy in College Station, both quarterbacks ended up leaving. The head coach got fired. Not that this is imminent, but we don't do well with those kind of controversies. Andrew,
what? You don't remember fondly your time with Kyler Murray and
that's what I'm saying. That fell apart. Last time we had a controversy like that, Kyle Allen and Kyler Murray were gone. Sumlin was gone. The only thing that worked out well for any of those guys, Kyler gets a Heisman someplace else. And offensive coordinator Jake Spavital got the gig at Texas State. Now, you can decide whether that was a promotion or a demotion, but they were set. I got a question for you before we head out. We only got a couple of minutes before Andrew joins us. Well, watching last night's game, a couple of things that I took away. One, yes, Aaron Rodgers is a witch. There's no question he's first ballot, one of the greatest we've ever seen, but he was a petulant diva last night, and maybe that's what the team required to kind of pull them through. He was minus 11 starters. Yes, phenomenal performance. But did they really beat the Cardinals, or was it the Cardinals' utter collapse? I mean, we could look at just the A.J. Green thing, but I think it was more than that. Minus J.J. Watt, they turned the Green Bay Packers into a power running team. Aaron Jones ate lunch all day long. On the other side of that, the offensive line for the Cardinals was a sieve. Kyler was running for his life all night, and they effectively cut the field in half. As soon as he chose a side, suddenly he had 5 receivers. It was down to 2. Now, he's an accurate guy. He made he made a little bit of lemonade out of a lot of lemons. But the fact of the matter is, they lost the line of scrimmage all night long, both sides. I think there's a little bit of film that's going to follow, and that's a very talented football team. But they're going to have to come up with an answer for J.J. Watt. They missed that guy. He was a far bigger anchor than I thought he was. And while he might be a shadow of himself, there's still a lot of MVP in there, and they missed him. And the Packers figured it out early. I'll tell you, LaFleur's a good play caller because Aaron did not play well. I mean, the fact of the matter is, if you looked at his numbers, this is a game that I'll bet he'd just soon forget. And let's not even talk about the 4th down slap down. We don't even talk about the 4 futile efforts, so we could argue whether that first one was a touchdown or not. They could not punch it in on a defense that had been a sieve. But other than that, LaFleur, I thought, called a great game. Kept Aaron dialed in, kept him close. They didn't go deep a lot of times, and when they did, it was effective, and made sure that his boy Randall Cobb was available.
Now, you say that Aaron Rodgers was a diva.
He was. I've never seen a player ever turn to the ref mid-tackle and ask for a flag to be thrown that it was mid-tackle. He wasn't even down yet, and he's twisting to find a ref. Dude, focus on the task at hand. He was screaming at his rookies, stomping around and cussing. And I realized maybe that's what his team needed, but it certainly felt awkward to me. And then you could kind of feel at the end of the game, that this was not going well, and it wasn't because it was because the Cardinals just collapsed. Just collapsed defensively. They bowed up right at the last, but it was not because Green Bay was playing great. Aaron Jones rips off, what was that, a 30-yard run? But that was about it.
I don't see it as diva. I see it as the same thing I see from Tom Brady.
But I do think, no, I don't think so. I do think the attitude that Aaron wanted to portray was, I'm as big as this team. Not only am I the leader of the team, but I must be consulted on play calling and the Manning document. I get to have my fingerprints on all of it. And he's elevated himself to the point where he feels almost above it. You know, I could see him ordering LaFleur. We're going. There's no field goal here. We're going. I understand you want to go do it, but I almost felt like he told LaFleur, this is the deal. It won. I'm not taking away from the performance because it was legendary, but that's not always going to work. That team collapsed. The Cardinals collapsed. They should have won in a variety of different ways. Kyler was limping at the end. AJ Green, I don't know what that brain fart was. You half-ass blocked and you half-ass went out for a pass. You didn't do either one of them. That should have been a touchdown. That should have been it. Ball placed it perfectly. We know what you're capable of. Green Bay, while they got the win, they are going to benefit, but the Cardinals, they took a step down in my eyes.
You say that the Cardinals gave it away. I look at it from the other perspective as Green Bay went and took it against a team that had more firepower than them because Aaron Rodgers is without his top 3 wide receivers.
Respect given.
He was
respect given.
Lost
but let me tell
tight end halfway
the Cardinals drove 99 yards. 99 yards to close. This was not Tom Brady. This was Kyler. Now, it was a signature move. It was spectacular, and then the collapse, and then the mistakes. The Packers should have lost this game. I understand Aaron getting all the credit. LaFleur, hey, man, you gutted it out on the road, and that's all that matters. But I look at what the Cardinals did. There was a collapse. There's tape on them. That 6-1 very quickly could turn into 6-3.
What do you feel about a player checking himself back into the game after getting hurt?
I was impressed with D-Hop, man. That's why you hide players' helmets. Hey, we got Andrew Monaco coming around the corner. Let's talk some fighting Texas Aggies and look around the SEC this weekend. There's a cocktail party going on in Jacksonville. Talking SEC football next with one of the greats, Andrew Monaco. Hang with us. This is the Blitz here on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250 and 94.5 FM.
Football in America is a special game, a unique game played like nowhere else on earth. It's a rare game, and the men that play it make it so. Prescott, Elliott, Cooper, and Coach Mike McCarthy. And today these men walk the gridiron with one thing in common, with one mission between them: winning. The Dallas Cowboys play here on the home of the Dallas Cowboys Radio Network. San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250 and 94.5 FM.
You know, Halloween parties are happening on Saturday night, and the best one is happening over at the Rue Pub, 281 and Redland Road. James Pledger is going to be there, although he says you probably won't recognize him. The annual Halloween parties at Rue Pub have become legendary. Best in the city. They block off the parking lot, so you've got outdoor partying going on out there. You'll have DJs out there, DJs inside the Rue Pub, next door at the Angry Elephant as well. So your DJs are going to be there, and they're going to have an incredible costume contest. Registration for that costume contest starts at 6, ends at 10, but you want to go early because only 20 spots are available. The costume contest is going to take place at 11 o'clock. Prizes include Spurs box tickets, gift cards, Wade Bowen concert tickets, more gift cards, all kinds of fun stuff because, well, it's the Rue Pub, and of course they're going to have the games on. They've got the great kitchen, so you know you're going to eat well, but it's Halloween. It's going to be a great time at the Rue Pub Saturday night for the big Halloween party. We'll see you at the Rue. If you love football, come to the San Antonio Quarterback Club every Tuesday from 11 to 1 at the Shira Hills Baptist Church. Join UTSA coaches for Roadrunner game highlights, plus feature guest speakers for great food and football talk. The San Antonio Quarterback Club is a proud supporter of Gridiron Heroes Spinal Cord Injury Foundation. Tuesday's guest speaker is Louis Stroud, a man that spent over 40 years officiating NFL football. Join us Tuesday 11 to 1 at Shira Hills Baptist Church for food and football talk at the San Antonio Quarterback Club.
For over 2 centuries, Jim Beam has been bringing people together. Now you can bring them wherever you go with friends and family. Introducing Jim Beam Highballs to go, refreshing and ready for sharing. Their classic highball and Beam and Ginger Highball are made with Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey. They're a new take on a tradition, 7 generations in the making. Find Jim Beam Highballs to go at a store near you. Jim Beam Classic Highball made with Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey, natural flavors, and seltzer water. 5% alcohol by volume. Copyright 2020, James B. Beam Distilling Company, Claremont, Kentucky. Drink smart.
Rock the Mic is back at Slacker Sports and Arcade Bar. Do you have what it takes to jump on the air with us at San Antonio Sports Star? Well, go to sasportstar.com now and upload your best take. Then join us next week at a Slackers near you. Wednesday, November 3rd, we'll be live at Slackers Medical Center. Thursday, November 4th at Slackers on Nacogdoches. You can even enter to win a pair of Dallas Cowboys tickets just for stopping through. Rock the Mic 2021, brought to you by Slacker Sports and Arcade Bar and in part by Jim Beam.
Central Builders Incorporated is a family-owned, award-winning general contractor headquartered in San Antonio. Since 1989, CBI has completed over $1 billion in construction projects, including large-scale remodeling, expansions, and ground-up construction. The award-winning CBI has also been recognized by the San Antonio Business Journal as one of the best places to work for the past 4 years, and Central Builders is hiring. Learn more at centralbuilders.net. That's centralbuilders.net.
Whether you're vaccinated or not, it's important to know the symptoms of COVID and its variants. Fever is the leading sign of COVID and the flu, so make sure you use an accurate thermometer. Only the Exergen Temporal Scanner Thermometer has been proven accurate with more than 100 clinical studies. Non-contact thermometers have no clinical evidence behind them and are not reliable. Be vigilant and seek medical advice at the first sign of fever. Learn more at Exergen.com.
From the Mother's Window Tent Studio, one team, one mission, KZDC, San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN, AM 1250 and 94.5 FM. Jason Minix, the Blitz.
What's that? It's the Blitz! Here on 1250 ESPN San Antonio, 94.5 FM. Welcome on to San Antonio Sports Star. Yes, Jason Minix in the hole today. He's in Phoenix, living the sweet life.
College costume parties.
Yes. Hey, it's Friday. It's a bye week, but we're not going to let him just go easy into an easy weekend. I mean, we're not going to just let this guy head out to the golf course and not talk to us because we know that's what he was headed to do. I'd like to welcome on the show the voice of your fighting Texas Aggies, Andrew Monaco. Welcome aboard, Andrew. How's your Friday going?
What's to say I'm not already off the course that I played earlier today?
I kind of figured as much. But, you know, when you get a chance to go 36 on a weekend like that, spectacular weekend in College Station. So, you know, we know what football teams do on bye weeks. What do voices of football teams do on bye weeks?
You know, voices of football teams still go to practice during bye weeks. We just mix it up a little bit. A little football, a little basketball. We had a coaching show during the week, and I need another bye week after this week. I'm not going to lie. It was a little busier than I thought it was going to be.
Little overscheduled the free days, as it were. Andrew Monaco, the voice of the fighting Texas Aggies, joining us here on San Antonio Sports Star. And as we come into the week, you know, things feel pretty good, I'm sure, around Aggie land. I mean, a couple of wins in a row. There's a little bit of comfortability coming, but the teams that the Aggies played, quite frankly, really weren't all that good. In your estimation, what has been the significant change around the football program? I know the defensive line, we had some issues that have been addressed. Defensive ends are playing well. Brandon Leal, DeMarvin Leal finding his place there. And, you know, the running game has been spectacular. And with every passing down almost, it feels like Calzada is getting more and more comfortable. But what has it been significantly that brought them to the Aggie win against Bama, but, you know, carrying them with pretty consistent effort against two bad football teams? They put them to bed early and just went home.
That was a great sign, right? Because you know what? They didn't rest on the laurels. Really, first off, they didn't like the feeling of Arkansas and Mississippi State. But you know what? You've got to own up to the fact that you lost those games. So what are we going to do about it? And the offense came together. Defense played like it's supposed to. Both of these lines is what's different. The offensive line and the defensive line are winning their lines of scrimmage. And that's huge in football in the SEC. You have to do that. But the reason why they grew up, Missouri was a trap game, combination of coming off a win off number one, and then are you going to bring your own energy? In a place that had about 45,000 fans, it was not going to be Kyle Field. Bring your own. And they did that. They set the tone right there in the first quarter of that game. Then I jokingly asked Jimbo, but I meant it, can you have a trap game off a trap game against South Carolina? And he said, yes, you can.
Right.
And they brought the energy again. Rob, they didn't just depend on the Kyle Field crowd. They brought that energy and gave them something to yell about. That's the growing up of this team. Biggest difference, Rob, they've learned that Monday through Friday, the preparation is why they're being so successful on a Saturday. And that's what this team did last year so well. And I think they've rediscovered that this year. And I think they like the feeling of imposing their will on the offensive and the defensive lines.
He is Andrew Monaco, the voice of the Texas Aggies. You can catch him right here on all the Aggie games on KTSA. Also basketball, which is just around the corner, man. It is amazing how quickly this season has flown by as we start playing a little bit of buzz and some basketball here in the next couple of weeks. Looking at what they've done in the bye week and how we progress through the rest of the season and looking at Auburn coming up, and we've got an opportunity to win our way back up into second place and maybe even first if Bama stumbles again, tied for the first in the SEC West. How is Jimbo keeping his team focused on the task at hand, which might not be easy to attain, and now we're looking at maybe a slightly different bowl game? I mean, what's the motivation behind just winning this weekend, or is that all that he's preaching?
Yeah, that's what it is. Faceless opponents, Robbie talks about it all the time. There's no difference if you're playing number one Alabama or if you're playing South Carolina. It's a faceless opponent. So win your spot. You go play to play. He always says, how do you manage the big plays? That's not just the big plays against you. How do you manage the big plays that you make? Can you move on to the next play? And I think that's focus and understanding. And it really is, when they go from one period to the other in practice on the Coolidge practice fields, you can hear them reminding one another, details, finish strong, tempo, things like that. That was missing a little bit earlier, but that's what Jimbo does. To me, interesting, Rob. I was talking with SEC Radio after the first week, Kent State, and Alabama had beaten Miami that first week. And I was asked, could A&M beat Alabama right now? I was like, they're not playing right now. They play October 9th. I said, no, if I had to answer that question, no, probably not. But they're not playing right now. And that's the danger of circling certain games on a calendar.
Right.
If you start looking forward to, wow, LSU is going to be tough, well, you're forgetting Auburn, Ole Miss, Prairie View. You've got to take it. And I think it's that focus of control what you can control. And what they controlled yesterday was it a better practice than Wednesday? There's really no magic formula to all of this. You know what I mean? And I'm not trying to discount what they're doing. I just think they rediscovered why they were so successful in the past. And Rob, I think there's some guys who stepped up as leaders who I don't know if they knew that they could be leaders, should be leaders, and realized, you know what, these guys will they'll play we're going to play for one another. And sometimes they need that reminder. And I think that little void that was there, not anybody's fault. It's just you lose a Buddy Johnson and you lose a Kellen Moore. You lose two big voices in the room. But DeMarvin Leal has stepped up in that place. Michael Clemens has stepped up. Isaiah Spiller has stepped up. Kenyon Green has stepped up. You got to answer to a teammate. That makes it a little more important. But, I just think that, they can only focus now on Auburn. Now they play this weekend, Auburn and Ole Miss, your next two opponents. But if you look for, like Jimbo says, okay, if we beat Alabama, but you say we're going to go 11-1, you pick the loss. What game are we going to lose? That's not how you think, and that's why you don't circle games and you take them one at a time. The old cliche, but that's the reason for the success. Is once you do that, you eliminate all that clutter, poison. Saban calls it rat poison, right. And focus. And it's not easy, 18 to 22. It's not easy with social media. But when you start doing that and you find the success, you find it's a choice worth making.
Andrew Monaco joining us on the Blitz as we look at the Texas Aggies. On a bye week, let's focus on some of the positives. The running game has been extraordinary. Isaiah Spiller and A-Chain have really been, that thunder and lightning, really a dominant performance over the last couple of weeks. Couldn't be happier. And you talked about it a bit ago. The offensive line it has greatly improved as the season has gone on. And as it's improved, we've seen a little bit more comfortability from Calzada. We've seen the holes open a little bit wider for Spiller and A-Chain. As we've watched the progression of this offense, and we've seen Calzada, go from completely uncomfortable and lost to winning and beating the number one team in the country to now, I'm sure everybody knows that Calzada's got a ways to go. But what has it been specifically about the improvement that has surprised you? I mean, it really. Go ahead.
No, I think that they found that five and they gelled. I think having Jameer Johnson, who's the grad from Tennessee, has really found his own at left tackle. I think moving Kenyon Green anywhere on that line, but him at left guard, and again, an SEC offensive lineman of the week. Hey, let's give a lot of credit to Bryce Foster. People don't understand. He was not the center to start camp. He was not the center 2 weeks into camp, and then they put him in that role. True freshman. He was throwing for Katie, in Katy for the Texas championship. Now he's really identified as that center. They love Layden Robinson. He was in and out for a couple of weeks. Him being there, and I don't know if you can give enough credit to Ruben Fothery there at right tackle, another true freshman who is massive at 6'8". But they have finally gelled, and I think they found that formula. And look, Bryce Foster, same thing as Zach Calzada. He's seeing different things, and he can make those reads. Jimbo calls it saddle time. How much time in the saddle? When you get more, you see more. And I think them gelling, the thing about the running game, Jimbo always says this, if you're going to complete third downs, you have to have success on first and second. So it's so much better to be able to let Isaiah or Devon run for 4 or 5 yards. Then you're in third and short. That's manageable. Or against Missouri, just give it to A-Chain. He'll get that third and long on the run. 2 straight weeks, both backs over 100 yards. That is just a great sign. Rob, I asked earlier this season, this team, what is their identity? Guess what? That is their identity. They weren't playing to that identity of balanced football, run and pass. If you can run down a team's throat, you do it. You know what I mean? That's what you do. But winning, the guys with their hands in the dirt, that becomes the biggest key. That's their identity. And this defensive line knows that they can impose their will. And it was a nightmare for Zeb Nolan and the rest of that South Carolina team. Are they on the same level? No, but the Aggies did exactly what they have to do against teams like that, impose their will, and the scoreboard said what they wanted it to.
One of the other parts of this offense that we've seen great improvement on specifically is Jalen Weidermeyer. As we've watched the improvement in him becoming more important to the offense, is this a product of this offensive line improving and allowing Calzada to find a little bit more, or was there some just chemistry issues between the two? Because initially we didn't seem to see much of it. Over the last couple of games, he has certainly started rounding into the form that we so much expected early in the season.
Combination of having him be almost a sixth blocker on that offensive line because you wanted to get that offensive line shored up earlier. Jalen has admitted, you know what, he could have played better earlier. There were balls that he dropped that he was mad at himself. He wants to be the complete tight end, and it might have been that focus. He didn't help his quarterback, and it doesn't matter who it is. And then when he came out before Alabama and said that Zach Calzada is my quarterback, I thought that was a huge sign of Jalen committing himself to being one of the best tight ends in the country. Again, not worrying about what's next. And if what's next for him is the NFL draft, that's great. But focusing on what's now, feet on the ground here. What can I do to help my quarterback, my team, and running those plays? And I think, again, it's that focus. And I think he knows he's a difference maker. Think about that touchdown. 2 of them this past Saturday, but think about that little tight end screen with his wide receivers blocking for him. And then, oh, yeah, by the way, here comes big 61 out in front. When your center is going 17 miles an hour, Jimbo kind of busted Bryce Foster's chops. So he said, you know what, you could hit somebody. He came up with air the whole time. Those are some of those differences. Jalen catching the ball, Jalen maybe a block, running the route precisely, not being too fast, not being too lazy if you're not in the play. I think that's really been one of the keys. I think his level of play, young quarterbacks, they love finding their tight end, and Jalen Weidemeyer has been there for Zach Calzada.
We're coming up against it, Andrew. And I do have a question. This was a text in from a couple of the Aggie guys and one of the conversations that we've continued to have. And really, it's an esoteric one. At the end of the season, we know Haynes is going to be gone for the rest of the season. Next year, is there going we know what Jimbo's like. Is there going to be a legitimate quarterback competition? Can a player lose his job due to injury? What do you expect to happen in the offseason?
It's going to be a competition once again. And the best and the better, I'm going to say best because they're going to always recruit with quarterbacks. It will be a competition, and the best quarterback coming through spring and fall will be the quarterback. Let's not forget Haynes won the competition before. Zach's done a great job, and I think it's a great problem to have. I really do. Zach now understands what it's like with those number one reps. Haynes knows what it's like to win that competition. They elevated each other's play. Yeah, it's going to be a competition. It's not like this is somebody's job and you never get it back or anything like that. Or once Haynes is back, he automatically gets it. They're going to compete with one another once again. Jimbo's always going to have a stable of quarterbacks, that's for sure.
We got another one coming next year with a lot of stars behind his last name. He is Andrew Monaco, the voice of the Texas Aggies. One last question. It was a little weird last week when we saw what happened to Coach Ogeron at LSU and the opening that happened up there, and I thought it was fantastic the way Jimbo stepped out in front of it before things got a little weird. There's still not anything floating around out there, is there?
No, I thought Jimbo addressed it beautifully. I thought Courtney, his wife, addressed it beautifully on social media. Let me tell you one more thing that happens. As you know, after 4138, there was a campaign to donate $41.38 to Fanconi disease, the Fanconi anemia that Ethan has, Jimbo's son. 1,400 at his first coach's show after that. 1,400 unique donors. Rob, on that night, it was $106,000. It is now over $180,000. Aggies helping Aggies, right? But that's the genuineness. And Jimbo appreciates things like that. He's got a ranch here. He's got the facilities here. They're going to keep giving him the facilities. Ross Bjork told us during his October town hall, they extended him because they liked the idea of 10 years. He was coming up on 6 years left on the contract. They agreed to the 10 years, and that was done before Alabama. Very happy here. And this is, the reason why he left Florida State. They were not going to invest in that program like he wanted. Texas A&M is doing that. Look, LSU is they can throw rumors. And that's the problem. You're addressing rumors. I don't know if Scott Wood would call him from LSU. I have no idea. And would I have Jimbo Fisher on my radar if I were a school? Absolutely. I get it. But he came out and said it. It's not going to stop the rumors. But you know what? They had a shot at him earlier. Didn't do it with a different AD. We know that he coached there. We know that he won a national championship there. He also coached at Auburn. Auburn didn't come after him when they got Harsin. You know what? If Miami opens, his name's going to come up there because he coached in the state of Florida and things like that. It's nice to be wanted, but I think he's very happy here. And I bring up that reason for that is because this is an Aggie community that has embraced him because they know Jimbo has embraced not just his football team, but the entire school and this entire community as well.
And a few dollars on the end of that check certainly helps as well. Andrew Monaco.
It's never going to hurt.
It's nice, isn't it? Nice to be appreciated for your efforts. Andrew, you talked about sincerity. That's one of the things we love about you. Andrew Monaco, the voice of the fight in Texas. Aggies always bringing it honestly. We appreciate your time today, Andrew. Enjoy this weekend off. It's going to be busy with basketball kicking off. We'll talk to you soon.
Thank you, my friend. Andrew
Monaco joining us. Man, that's one of the things I miss about the Blitz. I miss getting to talk to old friends like Andrew Monaco, and I'm up too early. I know he's busy. Doesn't want to wake up too early. Jon Machota
You don't think he's already up?
Are you kidding? Now he's got basketball. He's going to have to deal with a couple nights a week and football. He's got some late nights. Now that I really respect my morning, I also respect other people's mornings. We're going to talk some Dallas Cowboys with Jon Machota of The Athletic. Dak Prescott has been coy. He has been eager. He has practiced well by many account, though we still don't have a definite. We talked with Coach Mike McCarthy earlier today, and you're going to hear from him in a bit about how you make the decision when a quarterback thinks he can play, wants to play, but physically might not be able to. Jon Machota has been following Dak all week long. We'll get his insight as he joins us next as we look forward to the Dallas Cowboys taking on the Minnesota Vikings. Remember, get your Rock the Mic entries in. If you want to be a part of this, if you want to play the game, you got to get in the game. And how do you do that? You've got a deadline of Sunday to upload your video to Sports Star at SanAntonioSportsStar.com. 60 seconds. Bring your passion, upload it. We'll take care of the rest, but the deadline is coming. I have brought you to the water. Now it's time for you to drink. If you think you can be a sports talk radio host, I want you to act as if and do it. Upload your video as soon as you can. We got a tribe of people ready to see it, and we're going to start whittling it down, and you'll be invited out to Slacker Sports and Arcade Bar next week to meet us in person. But to do that, you're going to have to upload your video at sasportstar.com. Let's talk with Jon Machota. Looking forward to that in just a bit. But before we head out, what's going on?
I was going to say, you keep mentioning Thomas Mott, Carolina Teague, Michael Jimenez, RJ Ochoa, the original, Quinn Hudson, our current and reigning
champs all.
You're not mentioning the fact that Brandon Medina, who didn't even win,
true,
is a part of this.
We seek talent. You got talent, we can use you. Huge announcement coming Monday. Huge announcement. Previous Rock the Mic winner. Big news coming this direction. Esteban Ramon, hang around in just a couple of minutes. Maybe at the top of the 6 o'clock, you might get it again. I'm excited about Jon Machota coming. You know, we've focused so much on Dak's presence. We've talked so much about Lael Collins and where he's going to end up, whether he's standing on the sidelines or playing at left guard. We really haven't paid a lot of attention to what the Minnesota Vikings are. Skull might be the word. This is a team that's record really does disguise what this team is. They stumbled out of the blocks, but Zimmer's one of those old school coaches that's building block. They've got an excellent running back. Cousins is a respectable, if not great, quarterback, and there's good wide receivers out there. This is a better team than their record shows. Dalvin Cook's a stud, for sure. Are the Cowboys going to be able to slow him down? This is a team not built to stop the run, though they've been moderately successful at it. And if they do lose, is that the way they're going to go down? Can they rely on more turnovers like they have been so gratefully getting from Diggs and the kind? If they don't, is this defense worthy?
And let's not forget, while they're 3-3, they took the Cardinals to the precipice and almost handed them their first loss earlier in the year. They went into overtime with the Bengals, who we found out recently, that's a really good football team now. Their other loss, a 7-point loss to the Browns.
Kirk Cousins is Kirk Cousins. I mean, I don't think anybody really expects him to be anything more than he is, but there is a history in prime time.
There is.
There is definitely he has a knack for collapsing in front of a bunch of people. Cowboy fan is hoping we get that Kirk Cousins instead of the accurate one we've seen recently. Their edge is good. Their wide receivers are good. Jefferson can play.
Thielen,
well, traditionally, unless, of course, he's on my fantasy team. But if he's not, he's a pretty productive football player. I had him on my team last year. Didn't work out well.
Suffered the Mambo King curse.
He suffered one of the many Mambo King curses over the years.
Have you dropped Christian McCaffrey so I can expect him back in my lineup anytime soon? Or
no, I'm going to hold on to the bitter end. Don't forget fantasy football, our fantasy gods. You're only going to get an hour of them this week, 11 to noon. So you make sure you tune in early and get all the info you need. We've got the 49ers and Bears going off. This is a gift to Rudy J on Sunday right here on San Antonio Sports Star.
Why is he out running around?
Who, Rudy? He'll be out running around on Sunday. He can listen to his Bears lose to the 49ers yet again. Coming back, Jon Machota of The Athletic will join us. We'll look at the Dallas Cowboys as they prepare to depart for Minnesota tomorrow. Walk through today. Did Dak play? Will he play on Sunday? That'll be the first question we ask Jon Machota. Hold on tight. So much to get into. It's so little time. You're on the Blitz, you lucky devils. This is San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250 and 94.5 FM.
Taking a look at Major League Baseball, World Series Game 3 is tonight as the series is tied at a game apiece after the Astros won a couple of nights ago against the Braves. Now the series is shifting to Atlanta. First pitch is set for 7:09 as Luis Garcia gets the start for Houston. In the NBA, the San Antonio Spurs fell to the Mavs up in Dallas, 104-99 last night. Doesn't get any easier for the San Antonio Spurs as they now head up to Milwaukee on this 3-game road trip to take on the defending champion Bucks. Tip-off is set for tomorrow night at 7 o'clock. In college hoops, Rob's Texas A&M Aggies women's basketball coach, Gary Blair, has announced this season will be his last as he retires at the end of the year. The 76-year-old Blair has 838 career wins between Stephen F. Austin, Arkansas, and A&M, where he's been since 2003, even leading the Aggies to a national title in 2011. And he's 9 wins away from being the winningest basketball coach in either men's or women's history at Texas A&M. I'm James Pledger on your home for the Dallas Cowboys, San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250 and 94.5 FM.
ESPN AM 1250 and 94.5 FM.
You know, it's Friday. You're going to fire up the grill on this football weekend. And if you're firing up that grill, you know you need the best sausage on that grill, and that is Kielbasa Smoked Meats. You can't have a tailgate party without some Kielbasa, and you want the best sausage you can get, and that is Kielbasa Smoked Meats, which was designed for football season. Kielbasa, a great San Antonio company that was started here in San Antonio back in 1949, and they designed the length of their sausage to fit perfectly in a tortilla. It's where the sausage wraps came from. And does it get better than that? You can't have a football watch party. You can't have a tailgate. You can't have home gating, whether it's Friday night high school football tonight, college football on Saturday, NFL on Sunday. So you know you need to get in the store, get your cold beverages, get your tortillas, and make sure you get some Kielbasa today. Rock the Mic is back at Slacker Sports and Arcade Bar. If you have what it takes to jump on the air with us at San Antonio Sports Star, well, go to sasportstar.com now and upload your best take. Then join us next week at a Slackers near you. Wednesday, November 3rd, we'll be live at Slackers Medical Center. Thursday, November 4th at Slackers on Nacogdoches. You can even enter to win a pair of Dallas Cowboys tickets just for stopping through. Rock the Mic 2021, brought to you by Slacker Sports and Arcade Bar and in part by Jim Beam.
What can give you a competitive edge in today's red-hot housing market? Rocket can. That's because Rocket Mortgage can give you a verified approval. It could help your offer stand out because when you find the perfect home, you don't want to lose it to anybody else. Rocket Technology provides a rock-solid verification of your income, assets, and credit, giving sellers and their agents greater confidence in you. We've already helped over 1 million clients just like you reach their home financing goals this year alone. So remember this, what can help you buy the home you really want? Rocket can. Go to rocketmortgage.com or call us today at 8338-ROCKET. That's rocketmortgage.com or call 8338-ROCKET.
A verified approval is based on an underwriter's analysis of your individual financial information, appraisal, and title report. Call for cost information and conditions. Equal housing lender licensed in all 50 states and MLSConsumerAccess.org, number 3030.
Like a lot of women these days, Mackenzie Tudor knew exactly what she wanted in an engagement ring.
I'm a big fan of Pinterest. I've been studying this for years.
She wanted a pear-shaped diamond in a certain designer setting, but became frustrated quickly when most jewelers just didn't have it.
You can go in a lot of diamond stores and they don't have the pear shape. They may have one option. They may have two if you're lucky.
Then she and her boyfriend Tim found Diamonds Direct, with one of the largest selections of loose diamonds in America in stock every day.
Diamonds Direct had more than dozens of the exact size and shape of diamond that I was looking for.
And because Diamonds Direct carries all the top bridal designer lines, names like Verragio and Simon G, finding the ideal setting was just as easy.
The styles at Diamonds Direct, they go right along with Pinterest. They are exactly what every girl's looking for.
Diamonds Direct, the exact diamond you want, the designer ring you've been dreaming of. No compromise necessary.
I can't say enough about how many compliments I get on my ring from Diamonds Direct every day.
Diamonds Direct, your love, our passion. Official jeweler of the Dallas Cowboys at the shops at La Cantera.
Guys, stop what you're doing. Give me a few seconds of your time and let me give you a piece of advice that will change your love life forever. Have you noticed you've been losing a little pep in your step? Has your lady friend asked you, is everything okay? Do you find yourself having trouble rising for the occasion? Do you stress out before that special moment and wonder, is it gonna work? Guys, I'm gonna let you in on a big secret. You don't ever have to worry again. The Mojo Male Enhancement Formula has you covered. Mojo is the 100% guaranteed male enhancement formula that guarantees lasting success, if you know what I mean. The Mojo Meal Enhancement Formula is safe, natural, and effective every single time, guaranteed. Mojo is available in a fast-acting spray and a quick-action capsule. Do yourself and her a favor and call Pure Line Nutrition in San Antonio today. They'll get you set up for success. Call 210-494-2210. That number again is 210-494-2210. Mojo Meal Enhancement, only available at Pure Line Nutrition.
Have you wanted to speak a new language but thought it'd be too difficult or take too much time? Then try Babbel. In just 15 minutes a day, Babbel teaches you conversations that you will actually use. With 14 languages and lesson topics like travel, business, relationships, and more, you'll learn what matters most to you. Babbel. Language for life. Learn a new language with ease. Go to Babbel.com to try for free. That's BABBEL.com.
Your exclusive home for the 2021 World Series. This is San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN, AM 1250 and 94.5 FM.
Wait for it. It's the Blitz. You're on San Antonio Sports Star. A Friday edition. Yes, Jason Minnick's is in the hole. Taking a couple of days of R&R. Speaking of, I think Rudy J is somewhere lingering around out there.
I'm in the building, baby.
There he is. Coming live from Hero Stadium. He is Rudy J. Been a couple hours since I last saw him on the street. You know, one of the things that I miss so much about going on the Blitz and doing that is talking with some of the guests that we have regularly. We get up too early. We don't force this upon our morning guests. But Jon Machota of the Athletic joins us here on a good Friday afternoon. He's a writer of the Athletic, guy in the know, and I certainly enjoy his conversations with Jason every week. Hey, Jon, welcome aboard, man. How's your Friday going?
It's going pretty good, man. Thanks for having me on.
Glad to have you. Looking at your article dated yesterday in The Athletic, the latest on how Cowboys quarterback Dak Prescott has looked in practice and expectations for him on the Vikings. And if you're not on The Athletic train, guys, you need to go ahead and pay the money. It's worth it. You can't be a Cowboy fan without it. With that in mind, we had a chance, Rudy and I, this morning to speak with McCarthy. And this is the sense that I got, that he's probably injured to the extent that he could use some time off. McCarthy would really like to justify playing him, but his training staff seems to tell him that he might not be actually ready. When we asked for when would the decision be made, he kind of waffled from tomorrow afternoon to getting on the plane on later in the day to checking him on Sunday morning or checking him later on Sunday. Maybe there'd be a miracle. What are you seeing and what are you expecting on Sunday night?
No, you're right on track. That's kind of where I'm at right now. I feel like this is more than really any other decision, something that I really do think comes down to tomorrow. Like, I don't know that it'll come down to when they get on the plane, but they do this mock game on Saturdays where it's kind of like their last practice. They really don't do a full practice on Friday. They do kind of this stay program thing where they kind of have Fridays off in terms of actual practicing. So I don't see why they would have Dak not go through the mock game on Saturday and then have him play. Like, I think, and in talking to Dak on Thursday, that's basically what he said, that he thinks that, he'll know before then because they'll want him to go through that part of it. So it is very interesting because, I mean, there's some people that have been on this beat a lot longer than me, and in just having conversations with them about this, it's the same thing that I'm saying to you right now. Like, it's one of the most difficult down the middle, 50-50. I don't even know if they know until tomorrow what's going to happen. And I feel like fans want to know right away, like, okay, so what's going to happen? It's like, I don't think that they honestly know themselves. I mean, I think that obviously if it's up to Dak, he's going to play. There's no question about that. But then I also think that they're going to balance, okay, where do you feel right now? And I don't think that he's that far away. Now, he came in with some soreness this morning, but that's because he really ramped things up yesterday. So that's kind of to be expected. So I think if he comes in tomorrow and he's feeling pretty good, I think he goes to that mock game, he gets on the plane, and I think, word will start to leak that he's going to play on Sunday. I still would put it at about 70% chance I think Dak ends up playing.
So this will be my question. If there's the chance that he doesn't play, from what I'm telling you, do you think it's a good thing that the backup didn't get any reps with the ones?
So the backup has been getting some reps with the ones in team drills this week. So that they have been preparing for that. Dak's been doing more of the walkthrough stuff, and so that's why if he was doing the team stuff completely, he would be a full go. The reason he's on the injury report as being limited is because he's not doing that portion of it, and Cooper Rush is.
Jon Machota of The Athletic joining us here on San Antonio Sports Stars. Now, you've had a chance to watch him. How does he look? Does he look like he's okay?
He looks like the same old Dak to me. I mean, he really doesn't look any different at all. And like I said, on Thursday, that's when he was really ramping it up. And so, like, normally he'll start out on the resistant course for probably about, 15, 20 minutes. But this was like one where he went for probably about 45. And so when he did that, I was kind of like, okay, you can tell he's really pushing it. He had like a ball with him that he was like doing throws off it. I mean, it was like really a lot more detail. You could tell he was really testing his calf to see what it could handle. And so that's why it doesn't really surprise me. And it wasn't a surprise to Mike McCarthy either that he came in today and he had some soreness because of that, the extra work he was doing and pushing on it. But no, during practice, after practice are over, talking to him the other day, no, he seems like he's completely fine. And then the other part of it is that just how obvious it was to him when we asked if he would be able to play if this was a playoff game. And he was like 100% no question, didn't even think twice about it, and then I'm piecing that with the way he was acting right after the game and laughing about the injury and acting like, this is just going to be something that's going to give you guys storylines for the bye week. Like, he never even seemed concerned there. I think it all comes down to the medical side of it. And if they think that there's a high rate that he can injure this further and then set himself back to where then he's in 3 or 4 weeks, if they don't think that that's the possibility, then I think he's out there.
Jon Machota joining us here.
It's weird, John, because if this is baseball, basketball is a no-brainer. Hey, you give them some rest, but in the NFL, the games are so important. And now you have, Green Bay with only 1 loss, Arizona with only 1 loss. It's crazy to say it, but you got to start thinking about home field advantage right now.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a factor in it. And the other thing is that I know that there's a bye week. And so to maybe some, it seems like, okay, well, that kind of stops your progress of this 5-game winning streak. They don't view it that way. And one of the great examples of that, the best examples since I've covered the team, is I was convinced that Tony Romo was going to get the job back whenever he was eventually healthy. And they didn't do that because they were like, no, business is booming. We're rolling right now. We're not changing anything up. And that's one of the reasons why they're going with Terrence Steele at right tackle too. So if you follow all those things, you're just kind of like, what, if he can even have the chance to play, why would you want to even mess with what you guys are doing right now, having this 5-game winning streak? And hey, it's not like Minnesota, some walk in the park, like that's going to be some easy win. I mean, it's going to be a really good game. And so to keep the momentum rolling, I would think that they'd want him to be out there. Not to say if they were, let's say 3-2, that maybe they'd be a little more cautious, but specifically because they've won 5 games in a row and how it's difficult to continue to win week to week to week in the NFL. And then to go from Dak to then Cooper Rush, it doesn't make a lot of sense to me. Like if Dak would have been a little bit more convincing during his press conference stuff yesterday, I would be all in. He's the reason I pumped the brakes. And then like 2 hours after that, I see the spread go from 2.5 Cowboys.
Yeah.
Now the Cowboys are 2.5 dog. I was just like,
wow,
whoa, what's going on here? So that's the only reason that before Dak's press conference yesterday, I was like, oh, 95% he's playing. But after it, I was like, okay, I'm going to go to 75 now. And that's kind of where I'm at now.
Let's talk about Cooper Rush real quick. There is a theory out there. I'm not going to give it much credence, but the trade deadline is on Tuesday, and this might be an opportunity to see where Cooper Rush stands. And if you're doing your due diligence as the Cowboys suit, you're looking toward the future and what happens just in case. And is this kind of a long-term tryout for Cooper if he does get some time? And if he doesn't perform well, do you think the Cowboys would look elsewhere before Tuesday?
I mean, they could. I don't. They like him a lot more than I obviously fans do and us in the media. Like, we look at it, I think, like, okay, he'll be able to make throws, and they obviously have talented offensive weapons, but is he going to be able to do it at a high enough level to win games? That seems like that's a completely other thing. But for him to beat out Garrett Gilbert, even coming out of the preseason, kind of surprised me a little bit. I thought they would end up going with Gilbert just because going into camp, it looked like he was going to be the number 2. So the key in all of this, I guess what I'm trying to get to here, is that Kellen Moore really likes Cooper Rush. Yep. And Mike McCarthy is going to lean on Kellen Moore because Kellen Moore is around him all the time. I mean, that's the thing. Like, Mike McCarthy obviously has a background as an offensive coach, but he doesn't do as much stuff as he was doing in Green Bay in terms of all the meeting stuff. Like, there's a lot of things that Kellen Moore, that's the big reason why he was like, if you're going to call this offense, then you have to install it. And that's the way he wanted to make sure that he was in charge of everything. So it wasn't like he felt like Mike McCarthy was looking over his shoulder. So Cooper Rush is on the team because Kellen Moore really likes him a lot. And so I just don't know that there's going to be somebody available that they can then bring in, mid-season and then get onto the same level where Kellen Moore feels really comfortable with how Cooper Rush knows that his particular offense just because he's been in the system. So, he ends up playing, we'll see. And if it's a complete disaster, then yeah, maybe their hand is forced. But right now I would say no. I think Cooper Rush will be their backup the entire season.
Hey, John, I don't even know if you can answer this question, but this is the third time this season that they've dealt with the dynamic duo. They had Williams and Keenan Allen, and then you had Antonio Brown and Mike Evans. Now you have Thielen and Jefferson. Do you know how they go about deciding who Diggs just follows? Because it seems like Diggs just takes the best receiver, follows him everywhere he goes. Who do you think that they'll have Diggs following this week, considering both guys are really, really good?
Yeah, no, I agree with you. You're dead on with that, and that's why I think he'll be on Justin Jefferson.
Okay.
Which is interesting because Justin Jefferson, you'd think like, oh, well, they probably saw each other when Bama played LSU, but I guess and I don't remember this in the game, but because Justin Jefferson was more in the slot, that's why Trayvon Diggs was on the outside and he was on Jamar Chase. And so this will be kind of the first time that he's on Jefferson. I think he's going to stay on Justin Jefferson. That's just every way I feel listening to everything that from the Vikings side, what they're saying, it seems like they're preparing for that. So then that means, Anthony Brown is going to have Adam Thielen, and it might be a long day for him. We'll find out. Obviously it wasn't great against Tampa Bay. But I'm telling you, the Cowboys like Anthony Brown a lot. Like, I know, speaking of like the way fans feel, they want to see Kelvin Joseph out there, and Kelvin Joseph's getting closer. And I do think he has a chance to play on Sunday night, but only on special teams. But like the coaching staff, particularly the defensive backs coach, really like what Anthony Brown's done this year. It ain't going to be easy for Kelvin Joseph to overtake him. So, but this will be a good test for him, man, because Adam Thielen's no joke.
Is it load the box? No Delvin Cook and Derek Cousins to beat you?
I think it has to be. I think honestly, like if I'm going into games, even going against the Cowboys, I go the same exact way. Like it's Dak's team. You're worried about Dak, but I just feel like with teams that have elite running backs, if you're gonna let them beat you and they just keep going downhill on you, it's just gonna be a slow death. You have to stop that. I really thought that the best game plan, even though he's criticized for it, is exactly what Bill Belichick did against the Cowboys. Bill Belichick and the Patriots just don't have the horses.
Right.
If it was a typical Patriots defense, that would have been the perfect game plan. But obviously Dak threw and he was able to beat them. But you cannot let that running game get going for either team. And I think that's what this game kind of comes down to. Tell me who runs better between Zeke and Dalvin Cook. I'll tell you who wins this game. So I think they have to. Number one thing has to be shutting down Dalvin Cook, because if he gets going, which he obviously has against the Cowboys before, then it's just going to be a long day. They won't win the game.
Great stuff. Jon Machota of The Athletic joining us here on San Antonio Sports Star. Where is Lael Collins going to land? Is he going to land on the sidelines or at left guard?
For this particular game, it's crazy. I can't even believe that this is happening, but I think he's not going to play. That just blows my mind because I just couldn't believe. I guess if Connor Williams is just an absolute train wreck, I think they'd maybe move him in there. But if you're telling me where is he going to be 3 or 4 weeks from now, my bet right now would be that he ends up being at left guard. I mean, they really like what Terrence Steele's done. Kind of going back to the Kellen Moore thing. It's Joe Philbin really likes Terrence Steele and what he's done, particularly in the offseason, how much he's improved, what he's done in the weight room, how dedicated he's been, how he's basically just followed Zach Martin around for the last year, just doing whatever, Zach does when he shows up. That's when Terrence is going to be there for the weight room, whatever in the offseason. And now they've really built a rapport there on that right side of the line. And so if he stays healthy, I don't think they want to mess with what they got on the right side there. And it just seems like what's going on at center and left guard is where they look at as being their weaknesses. And Lyle's obviously played left guard before. I don't think there's any question he's a better right tackle than a left guard. But, you put him next to Tyron Smith, and that could be a lot of problems there. I think eventually that's the spot he gets if Terrence Steele stays healthy and continues to do what he's done the last 5 games.
You mentioned it, but is that a reflection on Biotish if he does go to left guard, or is it a reflection on Connor?
I think it's a reflection on both, to be honest with you. I don't think that they're very I know they're not. There's no thinking about it. I know they're not pleased with left guard and center. That they're not set there because you have a coaching staff that likes to talk about how they want continuity. They want the best 5 out there on the offensive line. And I think that they believe that their best 5 are not out there right now. And then when I say that, I mean with Tyler Biotish and Connor Williams. And that's why you've seen, them try Connor Williams snap, and you've seen Connor McGovern try snapping, because they're trying to find a better combination in that middle right there. I think they feel like what they have right now can win games, during the regular season. I think they're a little concerned about how that's going to hold up when you start playing good teams week after week in the postseason. And so they want to be ramping up to when they're heading into the postseason. There's no question that they have their best 5 out there. So the feeling I get right now is that Lyle Collins, there's a better chance he ends up starting at left guard than right tackle. I mean, he could play both, but that's the feeling I'm getting right now.
John, you know too much, man. You can't tell me the Cowboys don't wake you up out of your sleep. You dream about the Cowboys, man. You know way too much, John. I mean, this is all great stuff. Are you all right? You getting some rest here and there, John?
No, I'll be honest with you. I love it, man. I absolutely love it. Like
I can tell.
Outside of, if I didn't, the only thing I'd rather be doing is playing, and obviously I can't play in the NFL, so to cover this, man, I got a dream job, and I don't take it for granted.
Well, we certainly enjoy you, John. Thanks for stopping. He is of The Athletic. This is Jon Machota stopping by for his weekly. We all feel smarter for that. John, have a great week, and we look forward to having you back next Friday.
Sounds good. You guys have a good weekend.
Always a pleasure to catch up with guys smarter than me. That's why Rudy J stepped in, and James Pledger's with me as well. Hey, we're going to look forward to the Spurs weekend and talk a little bit about what we saw last. And does Texas, they're heading into Waco, man. Is Baylor setting a trap? Lots to talk about. Don't forget, we got high school football. Rudy J and Carl Schoening on the call. Johnson and Reagan getting going in just about 45 minutes with your pregame. Hey, coming back, we got more sports talk for you. This is the Blitz, and you're on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250 and 94.5 FM. Yes, I am.
For $1,000 now, enter the winning keyword, SCARE. SCARE. SCARE at sasportstar.com. Good luck from San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN 1250 and 94.5 FM.
If you're a business owner, a manager, a club leader, you need your logo on gear, you need hats, you need to get into Sammy's Embroidery Club on San Pedro. Sam has inventory in stock, and not many can say that, but Sammy has your polos, your T-shirts, your hats in stock. In fact, he has the largest selection of caps available, including the popular Richardson style cap in stock. In fact, Sam has over 10,000 hats on display right now in his showroom. If you need uniforms done, no better place to go than Sammy's Embroidery Club. He has over 700 uniform lines to choose from, and not just embroidery. He can do silkscreen shirts as well. Sammy's Embroidery and Printing. Nobody has better prices. Sam has all the big name brands and is the only company in Texas with one-day turnaround. All items do come with the warranty. Call Sammy and his great staff at 210-824-3900, 824-3900, or better yet, go see him inside that massive showroom down on San Pedro. It's a mile inside Loop 410, next to Big Lots across from McDonald's, or check the website, samsembroidery.com. Injuries happen, so if you twist, pull, pop, or snap something, you need Dr. David Espinosa at TSAOG Orthopedics. Dr. Espinosa treats all non-surgical orthopedic injuries and has same-day and next-day availability. Telemedicine services are also available. There is no reason to be in pain. If you are hurting, visit Dr. David Espinosa at TSAOG Orthopedics. Learn more at TSAOG.com. That's TSAOG.com, or schedule your appointment by calling 210-804-5490.
Welcome to Texas, where the sun is beaming down and can damage the interior of your car, even in lower temperatures. Unless you go to Mother's Window Tint, home of the Tint and Alarm Special, where you can also buy a new car stereo since 1984.
1984? That's impressive.
Mother's Window Tint has tinted cars and trucks to stop the sun from damaging their interiors. Texans like dark privacy window tint. Come to Mother's and get some. Legal and guaranteed a lifetime. Remember to protect yourself and your family. Buy an alarm today from Mother's. Starter kill, remote start, GPS locator, 24-hour live monitoring. Save $100 on the tint and alarm package of your choice. San Antonio and Austin stores. MothersWindowTint.com.
Remember, do it at Mother's and save.
Twin Peaks is adding one of the most well-kept secrets in all the beer community to select Texas drink menus. Yes, Yingling Traditional Lager is here. Starting August the 11th, participating Twin Peaks lodges will serve that coveted Northeastern Premium Lager at a perfect 29 degrees. In addition to its scenic views and those made-from-scratch menus, Yingling Traditional Lager pairs perfectly with Twin Peaks Nashville Hot Chicken and, oh, those hand-smashed and seared burgers and those great new loaded fries. Twin Peaks eats, drinks, and, oh, those scenic views.
Fever is the leading symptom of COVID and the flu, and the only way to reliably detect fever is with an accurate thermometer. Be vigilant and be accurate with the Exergen Temporal Scanner, proven in more than 100 clinical studies. Don't rely on non-contact thermometers. They are proven to be inaccurate and will not reliably detect a fever that might mean COVID. Be sure to seek medical advice at the first sign of fever. Learn more at Exergen.com.
If you and your spouse went from I do to I don't, it may be time to walk down a new aisle. Call DivorceDude.com at 210-201-0303 and ask for Mark, the Divorce Dude with Polling Law PLLC. DivorceDude.com can help you get a fast, affordable, agreed divorce. But if you want to fight, the Divorce Dude can fight for you. DivorceDude.com gives you easy legal options and sticks with you every step of the way. If the marriage is over, why fight? DivorceDude.com.
The 2021 World Series is on. Play ball! The Astros, the Braves, fighting for the right to be called world champions. And we've got the action live. The Fall Classic is on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN 1250 and 94.5 FM.
This is Rudy J on your home for Cowboys football, San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN 1250 and 94.5 FM.
Thanks, Rudy. It's the Blitz, the Friday edition. Don't adjust your sets or your screens. Jason Minix in the hole. I'm Rob Thompson. My co-host in the morning, Rudy J.
Yep.
Sitting live at Hero Stadium. You got a good game tonight.
Great game. I'm excited. Every time I come out here, we grew up in Texas. You see this field, it's Friday. You see the kids. They have no idea that they're not going to be able to get these moments back. Because, we all have those moments where at our age, Rob, we're like, damn, I should have tried harder on that play. Oh, I can't believe, you know what I mean? Like because you can't get this back, and it always gets my juices flowing every time I'm out here, man.
There is nothing more beautiful than a football stadium right before sunset. Right before sunset, and you just feel the crisp air. You can hear the band. There's nothing more beautiful in this world, and I am so glad to be a Texan on nights like this. Other folks don't get it. They just don't. It's so important to us that we're scheduling high school football over the Astros, and it was not a tough decision.
Yeah, and Stark's just transformed on us.
Yeah, Tony Stark with us. That's James Pledger. Now, that's like a full-on helmet.
I want it.
Where's your costume, Rudy?
COVID or not, I want that mask.
I thought about putting that helmet on. You had to get out of the...
I had to go to the gym today. So I get out of the car I had my workout clothes, but I had on the mask. Dude, everybody in the gym was ready to jump me. Like, everybody was freaking out. Like, we live in a crazy time. So you never know, like, is this dude coming into the gym to, So...
I want everybody to see what you had on. You got to jump on the socials at Rudy J _star. You got to go see what. So this morning,
out at the gym.
So this morning we are out at Canyon Springs Golf Course for a fantastic event. It's the St. Jude's Golf Classic that's put on by Martin Baum and all those great folks over at Window World. And Rudy was over at Carzeus, sitting in with those great folks, talking about getting money for your title and selling your car in and doing all the stuff. And Vita, the manager there at Carzeus, had talked Rudy into wearing wearing a costume, knowing that he was coming months ago. So last night, it's about 7:45, and
yes,
we're getting ready for tomorrow. And for those of you unaware, I decided that I would put on a costume for a character that no one knows who he is. I didn't realize that, but I did this morning. But last night, part of my costume, I'm Ted Lasso. And for those that obviously never look at me, I used to have a beard. In fact, I had a beard for 6 years. No one remembers that I had a beard. Everybody just sees this dead caterpillar that is left after I eliminated all the beard and just left the mustache so that I could be Ted Lasso. So this morning, I am in my best Ted Lasso costume, though not quite. And we're out at this golf tournament, and I'm talking with folks that are driving by and their carts headed out, and we're having conversations, and not a person, Rudy, not one goes, "Oh, great costume." Most people just looked at me and did they think this is what I chose? That I went with the Burt Reynolds in '79 life choice? This was a costume.
I'm more impressed.
So
you
it
grew
gets worse,
overnight.
Rudy. I'm back here at the studio getting ready for the show. Our boss, the great Kamala that is Lance, is still around here on Friday, walks by, looks at me, and he goes, "Did you grow the mustache?" So like, boss, I've had a beard for 6 years. This mustache didn't appear. He didn't. He goes, "You had a beard?" Like, what?
Lance said that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my God. But Lance be in his own world, man. You know, he beats to his own drum.
I'm either Ted Lasso. There's a strong resemblance that I've been told to Burt Reynolds.
Yeah, Burt is. I see Burt.
I think. What's the neighbor on The Simpsons?
Ned Flanders.
Ned Flanders. There's
Hi, Leo.
Oakley Dokley.
I'm getting Georgia high school offensive coordinator. I'm getting a little. And Pledge was so funny. He texted me last night before he cut it off. He was like, he had to. He was trying to make sure he was doing.
I was trying to weasel out. It came time to become fully committed to the costume, and my wife.
He was scared.
We had come. We were invited to a costume party. We're just excited to be asked out. You know, we're
absolutely.
So we got the cool kids invited us to a party. We want to please. We want to be in a costume, but we were having trouble coming up with one. The best one we could come up with was Ted Lasso, me, and my wife would be some sort of soccer player. We had some stuff. So she was ready to get the soccer stuff on, and I go, "Baby, I'm not sure I'm ready to shave my beard." So I thought, well, maybe if I could talk to Rudy, because I'd committed to him. Look, you're coming in costume. You told Vita at Carzus you were. I'll make sure I'm in costume where I'm going to be. Like I'd text Rudy about 7:30, like, "Hey man, you still in with this costume thing?" And he responded like he was in the absolute affirmative, like, "Oh yeah, I got a clown costume. I'm ready to go." So I was like, well, here we go. I'm going into the bathroom. Let's grab the sheep shears. Let's take care of this business. So I go shave. And by the time I get back, I talk to Rudy again. He's like, well, I really didn't want to do it, but you texted me. So I went ahead and got the clown. What?
I did it.
And then
but I had to, I'm a team player.
But to Rudy, this is why we love Rudy. Rudy is such a good dude. I was talking about not shaving. He goes, man, don't even shave it. And if they don't get it, screw them. That's a bud. That's a ride or die bud right there. My wife was ready to shave me in my sleep. It was like, no, man, you're committed. The beard's coming off.
I'm going to tell you this, Rob. I promise you, at the party tomorrow, is it tomorrow or tonight?
It's tomorrow night.
I promise you it's going to go off well.
No one's going to know who I am. I'm going to look like
you're going to be like,
a lurker, a stranger danger dude.
What? Monday, tune in Monday. We're going to discuss it on the morning. I guarantee you Monday morning, you're going to be like, you know what, Rudy, it was well worth it.
I bet
people are going to know Saturday night. I guarantee you.
I will guarantee you no one will know who I am.
Let's go over under. Let's go over under. Let's do it now. Pledge. Under. How many people?
I will
5.5 people. 5.5 people's the line.
Oh, I'm taking the under on that, man. I think at best maybe 2.
I'm going to take the under, but I'm going to say 4.
Okay.
I'm going to say 4. I think about 4 people would know. I promise you.
So that's twice as many as I think.
Yeah.
Which
is good. To me, that's a win.
Because I would have thought all the golfers, those were the types that would have,
me too.
But I look vaguely like a golfer because I'm wearing this stupid visor, which is the dumbest implement accessory men have. I don't understand why. It goes all the way. You could pull this thing around your neck. I don't.
Someone said slim Andy Reid.
I'm Andy Reid with half the menu.
No, you don't look like Andy Reid.
Bears.
There's the Bears.
IFFH would be disappointed if you look like Andy Reid.
No, I'm the beginning. I'm the pre before the after.
No, you good, brother.
At the risk of no one's going to recognize me. Everybody.
I think so.
Yes,
I think so.
This morning somebody should have said Ted Lasso. So yeah, I got you. But no one. Everybody just looked at me like.
No, because the thing is, when you're at a costume party,
That's part of being at a costume party is figuring out who everyone is.
Maybe that's
you
it.
feel me on that?
Yeah.
You good. Trust me, Rob. You good, man. It'll be
so look at this and go, that's your choice. You chose that. This is what you go around every day looking like, huh? All right.
Yeah.
See, I appreciate your commitment with the shaving because I
Me too.
also trimmed up.
You do. You have
for
to
this.
start cut, man.
Oh, yeah.
Did you
got
do
the
that
goatee.
yourself?
I did.
Respect.
It looks good, man. I see the jawline a little bit better.
But it is a progression because it will also come down even more for tomorrow morning's costume on the Saturday morning hangover. And then
Oh
it's
my
all
gosh.
gone for the final for the Roop Hub.
For the roop up.
The final
coming.
costume.
So is your battery good? You're going to be good for the next 24 hours, 48? Not going to lose any of your superpowers?
Charged up, ready to go.
Don't turn the microwave on around him. He pees his
don't
pants and
do
forget
that.
who he is for a little while, but he's going to be all right.
Yeah.
Hey, we're going to come back. Head coach Mike McCarthy joined Rudy and I this morning. We feel like you guys have been good enough to hear it. You deserve it. You've
Absolutely.
earned it after making it through a good Friday. Mike McCarthy will join us. We'll put a bow on the show. Get ready for some Friday night football. The Hill Electric Studios up there going to have Carl and Rudy making a fantastic call on Johnson and Reagan tonight. Hold on tight. We got more headed your direction. It's the Blitz here on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250 and 94.5 FM.
Do you have what it takes to rock the mic?
Hey, this is RJ Ochoa.
Hi, this is Carolina Teague.
Hey, San Antonio, it's Thomas Mott.
Slacker Sports Bar presents Rock the Mic. Now is the time to submit your 1 minute or less sports take video clip at sasportstar.com. From there, we narrow down to the top 12 finalists with 4 rounds of live in-person auditions. Who will be the 2021 Rock the Mic champ? It could be you. Rock the Mic, presented by Slacker Sports Bar and in part by Jim Beam.
You know, it's a Friday. You have your weekend plans. None of you plan on getting arrested, but some of you will. Happens all the time, every day, for all kinds of reasons. You get arrested, or maybe somebody you know gets arrested, a family member, a friend, a co-worker, an employee. They call you to help get out of jail. You know the best thing to do is call my good friend Albert and his great staff over at AA Best Bail Bonds. 210-225-2121 is the phone number. You can text the word bail to 474747 or even start the bonding process online at mybestbailbonds.com. You don't have to call attorneys or anybody else to get out of jail, and you don't want to be forced into a PR bond. If the jail offers you a PR bond, make sure you truly understand what all those conditions are before accepting it. Your best option for stress-free bail bonds is AA Best Bail Bonds because nobody beats their price. They have payment plans available, offer a free shuttle service. They're discreet and confidential and open 24/7. Offices all over San Antonio and Texas. Services nationwide. License number 149. Call AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121. Here in San Antonio, down in the Valley, and Corpus, up in Dallas, anywhere in between, or go to the website, mybestbailbonds.com.
Everyone here knows Diamonds Direct is the place to go for the best diamonds at the best prices. But did you know that savvy buyers from all over America, even Los Angeles and New York, now come here to buy their diamonds? These high-end shoppers have discovered that Diamonds Direct has one of America's best selections of large, rare diamonds, from 3 carats to 20 carats, all certified by the GIA, the most reputable and most trusted gem lab in the world. Because of Diamonds Direct's international connections and tremendous buying power, we're one of only a handful of jewelry stores in America that is able to offer a large selection of rare and precious GIA diamonds. In fact, Diamonds Direct's multi-million-dollar selection includes a stunning array of high-end Riviera necklaces, 20-carat tennis bracelets, and an extraordinary collection of rare, precious gemstones, rubies, sapphires, emeralds, and even the really hard-to-find fancy yellow diamonds. Come see why Diamonds Direct right here is the destination for high-end shoppers all over America. Extraordinary selection, quality, and unmatched value. And a short drive for you. Diamonds Direct, official jeweler of the Dallas Cowboys. At the shops at La Cantera.
Not all pizza places are the same. Mellow Mushroom originated hand-tossed, stone-baked classic Southern pizza. Not in the mood for pizza? Order a calzone, hoagie, sandwich, burger, or a mellow salad and see how care goes into every item on the menu. Take your pick from 24 draft beers and or handcrafted cocktails. And many of the pizzas can be made gluten-free or vegan. Mellow Mushroom is at 1604 in Stone Oak Parkway. Hang with friends, watch the game, and mellow out at Mellow Mushroom.
You can talk keto all you want, but if you don't have a team of great tasting snacks behind you, you're not going to win the diet marathon. Southern Recipe small batch pork rinds have these big, bold flavors that kick your taste buds into high gear. Korean kimchi barbecue, pasilla chili cheese, spicy dill and more. Eat them right out of the bag or try them in your favorite recipes. You'll love this snack. Visit your local H-E-B and southernrecipesmallbatch.com to see the power of the rinds.
Southern Recipe pork rinds.
Rock the Mic is back at Slacker Sports and Arcade Bar. Do you have what it takes to jump on the air with us at San Antonio Sports Star? Well, go to sasportstar.com now and upload your best take. Then join us next week at a Slackers near you. Wednesday, November 3rd, we'll be live at Slackers Medical Center. Thursday, November 4th at Slackers on Nacogdoches. You can even enter to win a pair of Dallas Cowboys tickets just for stopping through. Rock the Mic 2021, brought to you by Slacker Sports and Arcade Bar and in part by Jim Beam.
From the Mother's Window Tent Studio, one team, one mission, KZDC, San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN, AM 1250 and 94.5 FM. Jason Minix, the Blitz.
I'd like to welcome aboard Coach Mike McCarthy, of the Dallas Cowboys, brought to you every week by AA Best Bell Bonds. Coach, welcome back. I hope you're rested and refreshed and ready to kick off the second half of the season.
I sure am. How was the break for both of you guys?
It was terrible, Coach. People don't like us. They don't like us. They're like, oh, y'all don't have Coach on this Friday? I'm leaving. So we're glad to have you back. But you know what, Coach? I want to tell you something, man. You're going to disappoint a lot of children Sunday because when y'all get ready to come on, the porch light and the candy goes away. Nobody. Yeah. Once the Cowboys are on, there will be no more Halloween candy passed out, Coach.
There's gonna be a lot of baskets just sitting out there on the porch with the light on.
That was my greatest dream, man. An open basket full of Snickers.
Open basket time. Yeah.
You can go ahead and take the bowl up. I'll clean you out. Your night's done.
Yeah.
Yeah, no doubt. Well, pull them TVs out there on the porch, I guess.
Yeah, that's true. You can just watch in the garage. Well, I know you know how this goes, Coach, but my thing is you've been doing this a long time, and I just want to know how you handle it. When your training staff is like, hey, I don't know if a guy's ready to go, your player tells you, Coach, I think I can go. How do you handle it as a veteran coach in this league? Do you go with the training staff or do you go with your player? And, of course, I'm speaking about Dak and the calf issue. If Dak tells you Sunday, Coach, I'm going to go, but the trainer says, I don't know. In your experience, how have you always handled that in your career?
Well, I mean, this is pretty much a norm. That goes on a lot during the course of the year. So, once again, these relationships, between player and training staff and strength staff and coaching staff. I mean, this is a big part of it. So, it's a constant conversation. I start every morning, visiting the training room. Seeing how all the guys are doing, and then about the course of the day before we get to practice, we have a full report, and then I have a 4 p.m. GPS meeting that we go back through it. So I mean, you can't tell you how much time is spent on the health and the welfare of each and every player. So the level of communication is constant. Is the point I'm making. So in a Dak's particular situation, that's exactly how we'll do it. We'll see where he is today, and we have a plan for him to work today, and if he can get over that threshold, he'll be a day closer to playing.
Was he able to do, Wednesday through Friday? Well, today's Friday, but has he been able to take all the first team reps? Has he been able to go through his normal routine as far as y'all's practice week goes?
Well, his field work is all measured. So what he was scheduled to do from a workload capacity focus, he definitely hit the target both Wednesday and Thursday. So really seeing how he feels today and in the plan that they have for him today will determine how much he'll be able to do in tomorrow's practice.
In your experience, is the calf, the groin, hamstring, all three of those things pretty tricky? So you got to be delicate with it.
Oh yeah, I mean calf injuries, you got it's between the ankle and the knee joint, so there's no getting around it. So it's definitely something that takes a lot longer, and I think the norm would expect. So Yeah, and the biggest thing too is, hey, can he go out and play, full speed? But more importantly, we have a ton of football in front of us, so we got to be smart about this.
Great point.
Too.
Great point.
Head coach Mike McCarthy, brought to you by AA Best Bail Bonds every week. Hey, Coach, as you deal with that, when do you have to when are you going to cut your deadline, your cutoff point to make the decision? I know it's going to be game time. That's what we're going to hear. What's your game time?
Well, I think the biggest thing is, is he still progressing towards the goal? And he's played a lot of football. Obviously he's still a young man, but he's a seasoned vet in my view. So, we can take this out as long as we need to. But, I'm hopeful we have some resolution by Saturday. But, once again,
by Saturday.
Before we get on the plane, but we don't need to. Maybe, I need one more day, and we could go, because we'll have a walkthrough up there in Minneapolis on Sunday morning, because we play a night game. So, so we got a lot of work left that would be plenty for Dak to be ready to go.
Makes some sense. Now you got a couple decisions working, and as you had La'el Collins return from suspension, not practicing with the ones, what's the decision process there? Is it the best 5 you got? Is it about working prior? Is it about being out of shape? What goes into the decision making above and beyond what I just asked?
Well, just the continuity and consistency we have going at the offensive line. I've always been a big proponent, as far as philosophy of the offensive line. You'd always would like to have your offensive line established as early as possible in training camp. A lot of times that's not the case because of competition and so forth. But the best lines play the most together, and they line up as five as a unit together. That part of the run blocking and protection responsibility is so fine skilled, and the recognition. It isn't like you can make a call for every time something happens. So just the continuity that up there is so important. So
you like the continuity with Steele?
Really good What's that?
So Steele has come in by every measure and danced right in with the dance steps. It seems like the continuity has been pretty extraordinary. With that in mind, is there another position La'el could land?
Well, having LC back is great because we have in-season competition going on, and there's never a bad time to have competition, in the football environment. That's for sure. So, no, definitely, LC is back and. Had a nice day yesterday, playing both left guard and right tackle. So we have a very healthy situation in the offensive line room.
I'd like to congratulate you on the tap dance. That was well done.
Hey, Coach, now last season, I was told to ask you, last season, y'all played Minnesota, you brought out the sledgehammer, and I want to say it was a watermelon. What are you breaking out this year?
It's you have great memory. That was a fun night. So the guys enjoyed it, but we were trying to change it up. It was obviously a bumpy ride that we were on last year.
Right.
And we won the game. So I don't know.
You got to do it again then. Y'all are creatures of habit.
Well, I still got the sledgehammer right here. Actually.
See?
Coach, you got a sledgehammer in your office?
I can tell you that. Yeah.
Coach, you have a sledgehammer in your office?
Heck yeah, he does.
Oh, yeah. You got to.
You ever call a meeting and just lay it on the desk? Just sit it right in front of you and have somebody sit down and just start talking without even bringing up why there's a sledgehammer on your desk?
No, this is a positive workplace environment. That's right.
A positive reinforcement. It works in a lot of ways. He is head coach Mike McCarthy of the Dallas Cowboys, brought to you by AA Best Bail Bonds every week. You had a nice bye week, Coach. What did you and the other McCarthys do in a couple of days off? Go to Gaylord?
No, we actually
he was working.
had a chance to take the girls to school and pick them up and get a lot of work done in between. So no, it was really good for me personally to catch up on a lot of work and get ahead on some things. So it was time well spent. It was a good break.
That's good. Hey, Coach, y'all played the Chargers, fantastic offensively. Tampa Bay, the same. This week you get Dalvin Cook, Jefferson, and Thielen. Talk a little bit about what the Minnesota Vikings bring.
Well, I'll tell you what, they're playing very well on offense. I think Kurtz, has really comfortable in new direction of the offense. Their perimeter group, just the guys you just rattled off. This is going to be a huge challenge for us, especially up there in the noise. This is a tough place to play. I don't think it gets enough notoriety for that. But Sunday night football, Halloween. So this is these guys are very, very productive. They're very strict, disciplined system. With Kubiak, I like the direction he's taken. Since his father, this with the wide outside zone and all things off of that. They're doing some more empty, more situational things. So very, very impressed with the video that they have in store. But the thing about it, you look at their games. I mean, they're scoring offense and scoring defense. There's probably 2 points between it. But my point is that every game they've been into has come down to the end. So we're anticipating to grind it out type game.
You brought up something. You brought up noise, and for people like myself, like when you're going to a place, because we hear it on television all the time, but I don't know exactly how it works. When you're going to a place that's noisy, is that something y'all work on? Is like the silent count? Like how does that work in the practice? Like during the practice week, when you're going to a place that you said is like extra loud, like Minnesota?
Well, I mean, we do the best we can to create that environment. Now they've been on record for being as high as 120 decibels, and
wow,
that's a jet engine type noise level. So I think we've been only able to get our practice area up to about 90 decibels. So we're doing the best we can to create that that type of environment in practice, particularly when the offense is up.
Mike McCarthy joining us here on San Antonio Sports Star for his weekly appointment. We were talking about the Viking offense, and certainly Dalvin Cook plays a role there. But as I've watched them, they're not all that efficient running. When you look at that running game, what is the key to stopping Dalvin Cook? I'm not saying that's something you would do, but other teams that might want to stop him, what would they do?
Well, I mean, you look at their core runs. I mean, their offensive line is just starting to come in. Come together with some good continuity and everything, but they run the wide outside zone, and Dalvin's an outstanding stretch and one cut runner. That's when he's at his best. He will get downfield on you in a hurry. So the biggest thing is your gap integrity, and we got to gang tackle him, and because he does a good job running through arm tackles. But this is going to be extremely physical football game. You look at their run offense and their run defense, and you look at our run offense and our run defense. I mean, you're looking at two of the top, football teams in the league, and both, we're both, both sides of the ball are ranked very high in the run. So this is going to be a tough game.
Mike McCarthy joining us here on San Antonio Sports Star, brought to you by AA Best Bail Bonds. When you have this kind of week and you have a late game, does that affect your practice schedule at all? I know what Fridays are typically like for you guys, but is it the same as if you were kicking at noon?
Yes, our practice structure at the end of the week is always the same, because the end of the week to me is you got to build up into your launch into the competition. So Friday will be exactly the same. Saturday will be exactly the same. The only thing that's different is we'll have meetings and walkthroughs Sunday morning because it's a Sunday night game.
Appreciate your time, Coach. Mike McCarthy stopping by as he does. I know for a fact he's got some tacos and Big Red waiting on him. Jonathan made them special for you. Barbacoa on the way, Coach.
All right, guys.
Hey, have a good luck, Coach.
Congratulations. We bid you good health, good travels. We'll talk to you next week.
Thank you.
Mike McCarthy joining R&R in the morning this morning, as he does every Friday morning prior to game day. Make sure you set your alarm. He hits us about 6:45, and we take it as long as possible. Before we head into the sunset, don't forget we've got Friday Night Lights coming your direction. Carl Schoenig and Rudy J on the call. I've had several entries come in during the Blitz. Rock the mic, your deadline. If you want to be the next talk radio host here and be a Rock the Mic champ, you've got to enter. And how do you do that? It's easy. I want you to go to sasportstar.com. The directions are there. All we basically ask you to do is upload a 60-second video of you acting as if. Give us a topic. Give us something you're passionate about. We'll take it from there. The deadline is Sunday. From that point, we start whittling down to our 12 semifinalists. You want to play. You think you've got what it takes. It doesn't get any easier than this. Go to sasportstar.com. Upload your video. We'll start meeting you face-to-face next week at the Slackers tour stops that we're going to do all week next week. But I can't tell you enough. The deadline is Sunday. That's it. So if you want to be a sports talk radio host, follow in the footsteps of RJ Ochoa and Carolina Teague and Thomas Mott and Quinn Hudson and Michael Jimenez. Brandon Medina didn't even win the damn thing, and he is still part of this thing. You got talent, we'll find a place for you. I keep saying it. You're running toward the deadline. Get those videos up. They don't have to be perfect, but they got to be up there. We'll take it from there. Your passion will be the separator. I don't care what you're talking about. Bring your sports take. You a soccer fan? Bring it. You love cricket? Why not? Bring it. You might educate us. F1, now we're talking. If you got something you're down with, I want you to join. I appreciate David Williams looking it up. At least he now understands the Ted Lasso look.
You have the windbreaker though.
I have the it's just too hot. I have the puffer vest, and I have the true blue Richmond Greyhound polo that I'm saving for the party.
Mm-hmm.
Now this mustache, it is velvety soft. Smells of Cheetos and day-old beer. It's real. I found this. You think people look at you. You think people see you for who you are and what you look like on a day-to-day basis. Go do something radical and change something about yourself and see what the reaction is. I have had a beard for 6 years. Shave the beard off. Nobody noticed. In fact, all the people looked at me and said, "Did you grow a mustache?" Now, the mustache has been part of the beard for a long time. I just got rid of the other real estate and exposed something that really hasn't been seen. And I do have a bit of a green look. Ted Lasso, I'm proud of it. Though no one knows what I look like. No one has any idea. So you're a Tony Stark, and if you're watching live, and that's going to be the costume all weekend long, though. It's not.
No, I've got 3. That's why the shave started with the Tony Stark.
So when you were talking about affecting the well manicured goat, I thought that was a Tony Stark.
It's going to change for tomorrow morning's costume on the Saturday morning.
And what is tomorrow morning's? Is it going to be a surprise?
It will be Peter Quill.
Okay, gotcha.
Star-Lord.
Gotcha.
So I got to take this down to just the goatee. And then I am going to go to the Christmas or the Halloween party at the Root Pub on Saturday night with my main costume this year, which is new and
it's prize-worthy, you believe. This might be one that brings home.
And that's where it all comes off.
No, it's going to have to be good if you're going to take the prize from the typical contestants that I see at Root Pub.
Trust me, I'm aware.
Because that's not so much about the costume, it's about the lack thereof.
I
for the most part.
I lack accessories.
Yes, you do. Well, you do look good with the that battery powered, by the way.
Reactor?
That's what I couldn't figure out exactly what that was. I want to call my shot. I want to call my shots this week. And now, for those of you that listen and watch R&R in the morning, every Friday we have Barry Barger come in from BetUS.com. And normally, what I like to do is because I've been a part of him for a while, I like to take his advice and go with the plays that he offers. I have my own otherwise. So what we went off this morning was Tennessee Titans +2. +2. I find it crazy that the Colts are favored, but there you have it. So I got the Titans +2. Buffalo -14 over Miami. I'm pretty comfortable with that. Philadelphia -3.5.
Mm-hmm.
I'm feeling pretty good over Detroit
against the winless Lions.
So I'm gonna need your prayers, your thoughts. This is money that if we keep winning, we'll go toward the let's keep Jeff Traylor around San Antonio GoFundMe.
See, I thought you were gonna say we have Barry Barger on every week, and what I like to do is take what he gives me and go completely the opposite.
No,
way.
He's been pretty good though. Last week he talked me into taking a 28-point burger with the OU Sooners over Kansas. That didn't go well, so I felt like he owed me. I am going to – what do you see happening on tomorrow with Texas at Baylor? Texas going into Waco. Nobody's talking about this. I don't understand why Texas fan isn't a little bit more worried and why Baylor fan isn't running it. This looks like a perfect setup.
I am imminently worried. Tomorrow at 11 o'clock is terrifying. Texas has not looked good, especially when teams make adjustments.
Am I Shaq or Kobe in this, by the way?
Well,
Appreciate you, Jonathan.
You are the big man.
There you go, the big man in the paint. I found it very interesting how quiet it has been on the 40 acres this week. I think that they're kind of evaluating themselves and trying to find a way to close things out. And they're going up against a stout defense. This is not the Baylor we remember. This is Dave Aranda's Baylor. This is a defensive-minded fly to the ball Baylor and a little bit more of a ball control offense. This is not the best scenario. And I'll tell you, Texas's future, at least this season, hinges on tomorrow. You lose tomorrow. I made the joke earlier, and I'm not trying to downgrade the Alamo Dome, but you lose tomorrow. Make your appointment for a December bowl. There will be nothing after that. And the highest expectation might be the Alamo Dome.
Here's the thing.
Alamo Bowl.
You lose tomorrow, I think people start to question the Sark hiring.
I'd like to think there would be a little bit more leeway given. I really would. But I know Texas fan, but they've been pretty forgiving this year. Once you got over Arkansas, I think after that, everybody realized what Sark took over and what he's having to deal with, from young quarterbacks to an offensive line in flux to, injuries on the edges. I mean, Sark's had a little bit of a difficult role. And I think that the Arkansas put most Texas fan in the perspective of, this is not going to be a 1-year fix, that we're having to fix the Strong and the Herman years. And there were some deficits left. But I think if you lose to Baylor tomorrow, those questions do become a little bit more legitimate, even though I think it's stupid.
It may be stupid, but you have been embarrassed at the half of 2. And if you lose a lead at half of this game, 3 straight games, to where that falls on coaching, not talent, because you've had leads and you have big leads in some of these.
You've got enough talent. There's not enough depth. I think Jimmy's and Joe's play a role here. Lots of good talent, not enough backing up. And I think you're paying a price late in the game when you can't substitute the way that you'd like to.
Register your videos.
Yes, please. Go upload your video. Rock the mic. The entries must be in Sunday midnight. We got to get it done. Voting, it'll start in earnest on Monday. Rock the Mic is something we're proud of, and it won't be fun unless you're a part of it. We've had 3 or 4 enter now. Get those videos up. Get them uploaded. I'm sure you'll hear it about ad nauseum tomorrow with the hangover. Jack and James will be in getting you ready for a long weekend of sports. The Gods on Sunday. You want to be a part of it, upload those videos. In the meantime, y'all be safe. Enjoy your Halloween. We'll meet again on Monday.
Ladies and gentlemen, the weekend.
For $1,000 now, enter the winning keyword, sports. SPOR